because normally playing through an illness would be a bad omen, unless if you're Najee Marshall in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I think the one thing for me, Alec, when I'm looking at this roster for Milwaukee, it's just their depth, honestly. You know about Dame and Giannis, and I know that they're going to show out and play well. But do the Bucks have enough? And again, it is early in the year and you're way before the trade deadline. But do they have enough to make a run at this thing? I saw some of the stuff in the pregame mentioning that the Bucks are shooting well over 40% for some of these guys from beyond the three, and that helps in a big way. But I also don't know how sustainable that is.
We got the emergence of some key contributors on Milwaukee, such as AJ Green, who has overtaken Pat Connaughton on the depth chart, and one of the guys that we covered in UConn's championship runs, Andre Jackson Jr., who is shooting 41% for the field, 38.1% from three.
Yeah, those are big time numbers there, especially for contributors a little bit early in their NBA career. So I'll be interested to see if that lasts. So before we actually get into it, I just saw the anthems and all that too. Who are we taking tonight to win?
This is going to be a very tough coin flip, but it feels like whoever has the more points in the MVP showdown, I think is going to win this one. I think it's too close to call between Milwaukee and OKC. I may have to flip a coin and assume that lands on heads, then I'll be taking OKC because heads means home, tails means away. I'll assume that it's OKC. I'll give them the edge because of their defense.
That's where. Go ahead, Ian.
I was going to say, I don't know. So we know how OKC plays. They suffocate you with their defense and have decent to great shooting on any given night. Milwaukee has Giannis and Lillard playing, so you have two high quality options right there. The only reason I can't make a fair assessment is because I don't know what their defensive style is like.
I think that's a call. That'd be something that I have to lean to as well, Ian, because I haven't seen Milwaukee a ton. But I'm going to go with you, Alec, in the side of if SGA leans and gets those points, that's where I'll go as well. The superstar has to outplay the other. That's my simple prognostication for this one. And we seen it again in that game against the Rockets. What, SGA had 4 at half, and then all of a sudden you get to the free throw line 15 times, Mr. Nava. That kind of percolates it a little bit. It's some mid-range, some floaters. Got it going. Giannis is unbelievable in the sense if he can get 30 points without having to shoot a single three-pointer. But I'm interested to see how that Thunder defense is going to match up with the Greek Freak.
I mean, this Milwaukee defense has, in a sense, improved by the games ever since the start of the NBA Cup. And this momentum boost is exactly what they needed to get back on track. They started 2-8, but they've won 12 of their last 15 games to get back on track and move up to as high as 5th in the Eastern Conference right after the Heat lost in overtime yesterday to the Pistons despite a Jimmy Butler masterclass.
I saw Jimmy Butler's hair on the side of it. He is an eccentric man, but he looked like a flaming hot Cheeto, but he certainly was bringing the pain.
He definitely was, and he did give Detroit a run for their money. But in the end, it was the Pistons and J.B. Bickerstaff prevailing. Now, this game won't count towards regular season standings, but it may count towards regular season pride.
I think there'll be some of that. Again, we always talk about the pay line as far as this game and everything else. You know, the players want that as well. You want to be able to get some bragging rights. And Alec, as you mentioned, in the sense of an East versus West that you get here, this could also, I'm not going to say it's going to be an NBA Finals preview, but the only way you get to that is if you're on this side of the bracket.
Indeed. So, as for the call, who will take each quarters between you and me, John?
Do you want the switch? I don't want to take the final away from you, but I can start if you want, or we can do the same.
I'll have you start this time around.
Okay, so I'll take the first and fourth. Alec will take the second and third. I think he's going to have a lot of action on top of him toward the middle half of this game. I'm excited to see what happens here. And honestly, Alec, it's another look for me to see how Damian Lillard fits in Milwaukee.
It is. second year, he's been improving on his numbers.
I still think it's going to end up being a good trade, but here's the one thing for me, and I don't want to be disingenuous because I really believe Drew Holiday is a Hall of Famer. He was a guy that kind of moved everything around. He was able to play defense, guard all 5 positions. That was a little curious at the time for me.
It was, if you want to improve offensively, I feel that Damian Lillard will be your guy so that you get a second option because Khris Middleton at this stage will be taking the back seat and be the third option behind Giannis and Dame. Drew Holiday, you give him a defensive piece. It started out murky under Adrian Griffin, and despite the winning run, that decision of firing him, I still don't understand to this day. You bring in Doc Rivers. Yeah, I get you want to improve on the defensive side, but even if you go 31-11 under Adrian Griffin, why'd you fire him?
Yeah, that makes things interesting. And before I get into this, I want to get your guys' thoughts as we're looking at Doc Rivers address his team before the game starts. Is there any pressure on Doc to have this team deliver a championship just because they got Giannis?
Yeah, and for multiple reasons. Number one, to start off, you fire the guy. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Adrian Griffin that got them that title. It was Mike Budenholzer, who they fired for Adrian Griffin, and then they fired him. And then they fired him for Doc Rivers, who is. Tell me if you think this is a fair comparison, John. Doc Rivers is the NBA's Mike McCarthy. He's
tremendous in the regular season, but not so much in the playoffs. I think that's probably fair. I wouldn't say otherwise here. This is going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm pretty sure, and between the three of us, we're going to say that Oklahoma City's defense is going to translate. Again, 5-1 in the NBA Cup. I'm going to have to revitalize my notes a little bit. 6-0 for Milwaukee is the first shot for OKC is missed. And now right to left will be the Milwaukee Bucks. Again, they're going with the very dark green, unless I'm losing my eyesight here, as this is bounced right to Brook Lopez from 14 feet. He misses it off the front of the rim, and Isaiah Hartenstein will get the rebound. Be an opportunity now for Shai Gilgeous. Take this one left to right. Again, in the orange and white. Here's a shot from 12, and Shai Gilgeous is on the mark. The mid-range, that's one of the spots he makes his money, Alec.
Yeah, it does. The mid-range game plays to his strengths and his advantages, left and right. That's why he's an MVP candidate, his ability to knock down mid-range shots.
So Dame now off the step back. Very tough and partially blocked. So OKC's defense is already off and running here. 10:50 left in the first, just getting underway in Vegas in the final. Hartenstein, red carpet dunk.
Just an easy coast down for the lane. Admittedly, I may be behind, but I'm following along with what you're calling right here, John. But that is as easy as it can get.
Giannis will put his head down and lay it in. No foul there. So the big boys going right at each other again. I probably got a 30-second advantage on the side of it. We're still following on the ESPN box. Here will be a spin. Lead for Hartenstein. Floater will go inside. It's 6-2. So a couple quick baskets for Isaiah.
So far, he's so good. He's winning over his teammates with his screens and his paint defense and rebounding.
So Giannis loses it to Luguentz. Dort off the steal. This will be an opportunity now. Bounce pass. One more. Dort is wide open. Giannis never picked him up, but this will be rebounded by Taurean Prince, former Atlanta Hawk. He's been a little bit everywhere here. Brooklyn as well. Dame gets denied as Isaiah Joe off the post up. Here is Taurean. He's going to take a long three from the right wing. He's going to hit it. That was almost area code. 6'5".
It's not just Damian Lillard who's hitting long-range threes. Say hello to Taurean Prince, who knows how to shoot threes.
And this whole Milwaukee Bucks team going into it is a foul. They're going to say travel. So this will go to Milwaukee as Lopez was trying to get something going in the paint. But Taurean Prince, that was almost near the cup logo, just off the outstretch of the shoe. And now it is 6-5, 9:31 in the first. Season high, 52% for Taurean Prince. That leads the NBA from distance.
It really is. You think of three-point shooting, you think of 50%. You got to have a three-point shooter that's basically cheat code. That's Steph Curry-esque.
Yes, it is. Giannis off the spin. Brook Lopez, right wing three. This one too far. This will be picked up now for Luguentz. Toward the right wing side, Giannis is in his grill. It'll be Hartenstein pocket pass to SGA. Back now to Isaiah at the top of the key. We'll get this one. Now to Joe off the screen. Bounce pass one more time. Floater. Hartenstein's got that on lock. He's already made it a couple times. 8-5 OKC.
Yes, 3/4 of the Thunder's points this early. Not only is he a significant defender, but also a contributor on the offensive side, cleaning up the glass.
I don't know, Alec, admittedly, how many centers have that type of float game. I think that is a proponent that we don't often see.
Oh, we don't. Not often do you see someone like him.
21 points, 9 of 12, 8 rebounds. That's an all-career high 21 against the semis in Houston. It will be a foul against Dort, and Giannis is going to go to the line to shoot two. Probably still around a 60-65% free throw shooter. I don't want to undersell Giannis here, but the first one is up and good.
Well, Giannis is not really known for free throw shooting, but nonetheless, when he makes his shots, that means you have to have a rude awakening against him. Stop setting it to the line.
So 61% career high shooting, 62% from the line career low. Hopefully that can make sense at one point, and Giannis can continue to get better there. He splits the player. SGA, he's going to get a dunk. He gets the rebound. It goes coast to coast. It's now 10-6, and now Dame will take this across the line. 8:30 left in the first. Here's Giannis off the spin. He rocks the rim.
Allow me to reintroduce myself, says Giannis.
That was absolutely nasty. Clean spin and an inside finish for Jalen Williams. He makes it from 1 feet right underneath the cup. 12-8. So the field goal shooting is way higher than it was in the game against Houston. It's already 6 of 8 now for OKC as they're up by 4. Giannis fades away from 12, and those outstretched hands caught a piece. He's going to go back to the line, shooting foul.
Well, Giannis had put up a nice rim rocker right to respond to SGA, who went up for it at dunk, and Jalen Williams looked like a dunk fest left and right between SGA and Giannis. 2 MVP candidates, then Williams put it up and in from the layup. Nonetheless, good showing with these 2 MVP candidates.
Yeah, it is. And that was one of the cleanest spin moves with speed that I've seen there for Giannis. So, again, he is fleet of foot. We know that about him. He's incredibly strong. And he's just, you can't deal with somebody like that with his vertical and everything else. He misses another free throw. He's now 1 of 3. He's got one more coming.
When Giannis expands his back to include playmaking, that means the assist game, look out.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the only thing he can say is the three-point shooting, maybe a little bit of free throw, but honestly, he shoots free throws a little bit worse only than LeBron James at the line. So, I mean, if you can get there a lot and at least make more than half of them, you're going to be doing all right. This one rattles in. Again, that was kind of the old Shaq mentality. Is this one now all the way down the lane off the floater for Williams over the outstretch of Giannis. So OKC's offense having no trouble here. Dame from the logo. He misses. And this one is rebounded by Williams. But we'll take this one left to right. 1 for 3 is Milwaukee from 3. 0 for 2 is OKC. But they've been dominating from the floaters, getting dunks, getting easy ones. Joe off the screen from Hartenstein. He'll step back from 16. That is cash. OKC is humming.
Oh, yes, they are. As Doc Rivers will decide to use his first timeout for the Bucks. But the Thunder, they are rolling nice and smoothly throughout. Offensively, good job. They check that box. Defensively, they're not allowing the Bucks to get any clean looks here and there. That's a good job of that check mark early in this game. What does Milwaukee have in store? What answer do they have from right behind OKC? Because they need something from their big boys, Giannis and Lillard. Those are the 2 who you want to see take over a game.
And that was my question. I know I joined in a little bit late, but before the tip off in the sense of Alec. That's exactly what I'm looking at. You know what you're going to get from the two in Milwaukee, but what are you going to get from everybody else, especially now with Middleton out? I think the bench depth is a little bit thin, in my opinion. Again, the three-point shooting is good for the Milwaukee Bucks, but I don't know how sustainable that is. I do think OKC is a little bit farther along as probably trying to win another one. I know they got a ton of young players as well, but SGA kind of stirs that drink, and that defense is pretty good.
Yes, it is. That defense is scarily elite for modern NBA standards, given his.
Oh, and fellas,
Go ahead.
I was going to. I'm sorry to interrupt here, but we have ourselves an interesting development happening in the world of college hoops. Unranked North Carolina is currently leading number 7 Florida by 81-77, with just over 4 minutes left in the second half.
Well, monitor some of that because I know my alma mater, Oakland, is playing against Michigan State, but they're getting slapped in the second half. So thankfully, Alec was able to keep my eyes off of that so I can enjoy this game.
One more thing. The Capitals have taken a lead on the Blackhawks. Why am I mentioning this random hockey game? It's because the first goal was scored by the eternal headache known as Pierre-Luc Dubois.
He is a guy that we've talked about for many reasons, sometimes good, sometimes not, but the Caps are 21-7-2. They have been ridiculous this year.
So it is likely we will not experience another Pierre-Luc Dubois tantrum as long as they keep winning.
Well, and the Caps are winning, so that keeps PLD satisfied for the time being.
Yeah.
Do you boys think that Cody Bellinger is satisfied? I saw that he's going to pinstripes.
They got Bellinger for literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, as a Royals fan, it is frustrating because he was right there, and if you just expanded the payroll just a little bit more, you could have got him. Now, there's still other options to go out and get, but it's just, John, you know this.
Yes, I do now.
And being a small to, well, in the Tigers case, a mid-market, because you will hand out the big contracts.
We used to.
But small to mid-market, yeah, you got it.
This one, as we come back, is blocked by Brook Lopez. And there's a pass across. Now Damian Lillard. Euro, that is beautiful. We'll lay it in.
Old school Damian Lillard right after a Brook Lopez block. You turn defense into offense, there's your key. And the timeout may have paid off.
That's what I want to see for Dame Lillard. Still go inside. And Hartenstein, my goodness, he's taking the defense to school with the floater. He's already done it 3 times.
Isaiah Hartenstein is just teaching these Bucks to not go around and play roadkill and all that.
Brook Lopez had 2 chances. Second one got blocked. And now OKC. We'll pick this one up now. So Cason Wallace going to get set to come in. Again, that's a little bit ahead of me. Is SGA off the spin. And this pass will not hit Hartenstein. This will be turned over. So they'll make the subs now. Cason Wallace for Hartenstein and Kendrick Williams for Isaiah Joe.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that Cason Wallace was put onto the bench to begin this game and Isaiah Joe to start.
Yeah, there will.
I want to say,
go ahead.
My bad. I was going to say, about Hartenstein being the center for the Thunder have always operated with adequate center play.
Yeah, they always haven't had scoring at that position, but they've always had defense and rebounding. When you go in between Serge Ibaka, Brook Lopez, here's a 3 for Lopez here on the side. He knocks it down. I should have said Kendrick Perkins. I was thinking of Brook Lopez 3-point shot there as he knocks that one down. This is
let's
Williams.
not forget Steven Adams.
Yeah, as you mentioned with Steven Adams, that was a lot of defense there. Serge Ibaka had a little more shooting. But you're right. They've always had adequate work there. So Brook Lopez will cash that one in from the left corner. It's 18-14, 5:49 left in the first. John Hunter with you alongside Alec Nava and Ian Genji. And that pass that they're showing here on the replay from Daigneault, that was in the pocket in that corner and knocked down. So this will be passed in now for SGA. Try to turn on the burners. He gets triple teamed. He's got to walk the dog essentially with this basketball. He'll step back. Now have to pass toward the right key. Lay it in off the glass. And this one too strong and rebounded by Brook. Give to Dame. 5:25 left in the first. It's a 4-point game. Giannis. Here's a pass all the way across. This one's missed from Taurean Prince and now numbers. It's a 2-on-2 now, as it took a little bit late to develop. Here is Luguentz. He gets right around Brook Lopez off the spin, fades away and knocks it down.
You mentioned a defensive player who can cash in offensively. There is Luguentz Dort for you right there. Defense first-minded player, but can cash in offensively when he gets chests.
Absolutely, Alec. I love that. He's got all sorts of speed and versatility. He's a pretty good player. Damian Lillard, all sorts of contact. And Luguentz Dort, they will say, picks up the foul. Almost had to. He got mugged. 4:48 left in the first.
That's one of the downsides of tight defenses. Sometimes you can get prone to fouls when you cover someone tight defensively. There was Dort who covered Lillard a little too tight and allowed him to get his second foul.
And Brook Lopez, I know he's got the three-point shooting, he's got the length, but when you're asking somebody that's 7 feet, that's not fleet of foot to guard this smaller lineup of the Thunder. You already seen Isaiah Joe try to get blow-bys, Luguentz Dort off the step back. It's going to be tough covers for him. Damian Lillard makes the first. He's got one more.
Alex Caruso coming to take the place of Jalen Williams. You got two substitutions for Milwaukee. Our first two for them. Bobby Portis replacing Brook Lopez. AJ Green replacing Taurean Prince. Nice to see AJ Green getting more minutes in Doc Rivers' system.
So it's going to be a little bit of education for me. So if I say the wrong name a couple times, I apologize. I do have the numbers out in front, but AJ Green, to get a first look at him. I know MarJon Beauchamp, Delon Wright, former Piston Raptor, as well as this one is knocked down by Dame. Again, he's usually about 90% from the free throw line, so you don't really expect any misses there, as this is SGA. He's being harassed a little bit toward the timeline. He'll shoot from 18. This is tapped up a couple times by Portis, picked up by Giannis. Again, it's back within 4. Here's a pocket pass. Portis, he can walk right into a 3, and Bobby knocks it down.
Fan favorite in Milwaukee who can knock down 3 points and can clean up the glass. That has to feel good for Bobby Portis, who's been their biggest sixth man in this championship run.
Yeah, he has over the last few years. Goggles or not. Today he doesn't have those, but pretty good all the way across the bench. Can knock down the 3, get the rebounds, do what you need him to do. Milwaukee could actually take the lead. Jackson here for Lillard off the jump stop. I'll go back to the top of key for number 0, former Portland Trailblazer. Here's a floater of a pass. Bobby Portis off the spin near the right wing. Bucks got to go here. Portis, one-handed hook, and this one's too long. This will be rebounded by OKC. Here's Caruso. Try to put his head down past Giannis. I don't know about that, as this goes to the right wing corner of SGA. Got Lillard on him. Shoots the 3, and he airballs it. Picked up now by Bobby. 3:30 left in the first. This is a good one so far in this first quarter. OKC 0 for 4 from 3. Lillard fires, and Milwaukee's got the lead.
If I'm Mark Daigneault, I have to call a timeout after this possession, and which I will, because that was a hot run you just gave up to the Bucks. Now, I know they're resurgent, but the Bucks are hitting most of everything in stride with how they're shooting, especially Damian Lillard and Bobby Portis with those last few 3 players.
2 3-pointers, 2 free throws. It's an 8-0 run as we take a TO.
Yeah, it's funny. And it's just, I can't help but chuckle when I hear Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Because before he was an NBA champion, what he was most known for was
his crazy eyes. Yeah? Go ahead.
No, it was the oh, sorry, is the game back on?
No, you're good.
No, it is.
Oh, I was saying no. What I remember about Bobby Portis was the failed attempt by the Knicks to get KD and Kyrie, and then after that it was what's behind the curtain, everyone.
Oh, no.
Randall. 2 years
Yeah.
of Bobby Portis and 2 years of Todd Gibson.
Yeah, that might not have aged well at the time, but I think we're all correct in saying Bobby Portis and the Bucks now has carved a pretty good career for himself.
Oh yeah, but it was so Knicks to sign
Yeah.
3 power forwards.
Well, not even 3. When you include Marcus Morris, that would make it 4.
Oh.
Well, I will say it's been going all right for the Knicks with Jalen Brunson, post Julius Randle, and all that. But that looked like a nightmare for the Knicks back then.
And it was so funny because at the time we all thought the Nets were going places.
I mean, the last time I thought about the Knicks and anything serious is when they had Amari Carmelo and Chauncey Billups. They had a decent run there, and then Amari punched a fire hydrant, right? He broke the case, he messed up his hand, and then it was all downhill from there. And the Knicks, as you mentioned, you were trying to win in free agency. And now you got really the Mavs, again, they made the finals, and they might have their guy in Kyrie, but honestly, they might regret not having Jalen Brunson.
Might. But to be fair, though, as of right now, if it was just Kyrie there, I would agree.
Okay.
But Kyrie's not the leader of that team.
No.
And I don't think he's going to, if he's smart, he won't argue that he is.
No, I agree with you there. I think we're well past the point of, I think we know the way that team is settled, and they're happy to be Batman and Robin. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a co-partner.
Yeah. Essentially, Kyrie is taking the back seat in Dallas. He's comfortable being the second option right behind Luka, and a team that already includes Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford / Derek Lively.
Yes.
So as we get set to check back in, again, this is about 10 seconds ahead on ESPN box, but it's an 8-0 run for the Bucks. Damian Lillard, a 3, a couple free throws. SGA will force the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. OKC's got a chance to tie this one back up.
And that's one of the more dangerous areas in which you don't want. If you want to force SGA to the line, and that is bad for you because SGA is one of the more efficient free throw shooters in the NBA. That's going to be a nightmare matchup for you, regardless of whether you're AJ Green or Andre Jackson Jr.
Yeah, you're right, Alec. And again, you're at a point where we saw it in the game against Houston not that long ago. You get to the line 17 times. You would think if you're Milwaukee, you would at least try to half that number. He splits the pair. And now Bobby Portis tries to get this one ahead. Almost stolen, and it is. This opportunity now. Williams off the spin. He'll leave this here for Kendrick. Now SGA off the step back. He misses it too strong off the back iron, and Giannis will battle for the rebound. 2:45 left in the first. OKC is yet to hit a triple. Milwaukee's 4 for 7. Here's an opportunity off the pass all the way across court. Portis will tee up a 3. He'll miss it, just short. SGA now across the NBA Cup logo. He's being hounded by Jackson. Floats it up. This one too strong. And Jackson will corral the rebound. He'll get it now toward the right wing side. He can step into a 3 if he wants to. They like to go inside to Giannis, but that's lazy. It's picked off by Alex Caruso. Caruso now. He'll spin, fall down. Hendricks trying to get something going here. This will be given to Caruso at the top of the key. Out of 10 seconds, right wing off the back down. SGA of green. SGA will spin. He'll shoot a fade, and he'll hit it off the glass and in. OKC is taking the lead 23-22.
Now, if you're OKC, how do you answer defensively? Because Milwaukee is hungry. Of course, they can strike any time.
Yeah, you're going to have to be able to cut off some of those passing lanes inside to Giannis. Portis tries to finish with one hand, and we'll see if this one stays with Milwaukee. It's going to, with 142 in the first.
Milwaukee, who can turn down the Jets offensively, they can and go about with Giannis inside the paint, or whether it be 3-point shooting from Damian Lillard or Taurean Prince. You do not want to leave someone open.
So Hartenstein's going to check back in for Kenrich, the float master. Here's AJ Green. Oh my goodness! He hits that one over Hartenstein. He couldn't even see him on the TV screen. What
He disappeared from such when Hartenstein was so tall.
I couldn't believe he made that one. Shai Gilgeous makes a much easier one, top of the key three. Here's Giannis. Series of crossovers. Puts his shoulder in. Now he'll try to pass this one. Gary Trent wide open. And Milwaukee's cooking from deep. 27-26.
The Duke man getting involved in a deep two.
Here is Caruso off the step back to Giannis. You're correct, Alec. That was a deep two. My apologies. Hartenstein now here for bounce pass for Wallace. This one picked up by OKC, but a foul is going to get called first. It'll be on the Greek Freak.
But that's rarely you see that the Greek Freak would state that they get a foul against him. Usually, he would like to clean things up, despite being one of the biggest guys over the NBA. Arguably, I think he'll be my MVP candidate, ideally.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Alec. Again, he's really in that conversation. The long outstretched hands of Giannis hit Hartenstein, so he's going to go to the line to shoot two. He has really shown out in this tournament, Alec. Again, we talk about Chet Holmgren. You deal with some of the injuries there, but I think Hartenstein has not just played himself as a bench big, he's really kind of played as an important starter for this team.
And if Chet comes back, do you insert it onto the power forward position right next to Hartenstein up at the front court?
I think you might have to. I think Hartenstein's playing so well that you really can't take him out. You could adjust the position, but I agree with you. I think you leave him where he is. Portis now from the bounce pass here for Connaughton. Connaughton now to Giannis. Shot clock down to 2. He's got a force. This one off the back iron, too strong. Cason Wallace will get the rebound now for SGA. Shot clock turned off. Oklahoma City up by 1. It's 28-27. This was a good first quarter. Not for distance for OKC, but for everything else. And good distance shooting. SGA will force. Caruso got a fire. He does get it off in time. He knocks it down. Buzzer beater.
Right at the clock. Alex Caruso with a buzzer beater. OKC did have a knack for buzzer beating your shots throughout this NBA Cup tournament. Isaiah Joe, and then you also have a buzzer beater, which I covered earlier. Dixon Magic with Mikal Bridges leading the way up front. But Isaiah Joe off a save from Alex Caruso in the first game that I covered between these two. And SGA did a little fake on Gary Trent, and Caruso got it off. The Bucks are arguing that it should not count. We'll have to check if Caruso got it up on time. I think he did beat it out or not. I don't think so.
I think Alec.
Check the hand movement. Giannis, was he? Caruso? Let's see. Yeah, I think his fingers may have touched the ball when he released it. He was on the process of releasing the ball. We'll see. This is going to be close.
I think it was right at .1 on the live call when I saw the look. What about you?
I think .1. That's where I would see it.
I'm going to say buzzer beater here for Alex Caruso. That will give the Thunder a 28-27 lead. Actually, it's going to be more on the ESPN box because it hasn't updated. So let me correct myself. 31-27 as long as this one shows up. I think it's going to be good. Alec's going to get set to take us here for the second. We'll get our break. He'll take the third. I'll close it out. That was a good first. I hope you get much more of the same.
And hopefully we'll have some more of that early action in here in the second quarter. And I do want to discuss, we heard about Cody Bellinger going to the Yankees. Well, it's not just Bellinger, because before Bellinger, it was Devin Williams. The Yankees have a full-time closer now.
So, Go ahead, Ian.
Oh, man. John the Rich just keep getting richer. As soon as the Dodgers, Red Sox, or whoever else the Yankees hate, the Mets, as soon as they get something, the Yankees are like a petulant child. We want that too. So what do? Well, they go out and get one of the deadliest closers in the game in Devin Williams.
Yeah.
And I believe they got someone else in. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, they got Cody. Yeah, they got Cody Bellinger for literally nothing. And am I missing anything else?
I do want to say this openly before Alec takes over as we sit in the commercials here. You might laugh when I say this because I think the Yankees are still going to be a good team with or without Juan Soto. But I think that might turn out to be a blessing in disguise for them because they're not putting all that payroll into one player. I know Brian Cashman and the Yankees and Yes Network and all that, they have more money than God, but still, that allows you to make your team more well-balanced.
It does. You want to balance out the lineup and build around Aaron Judge because he can't do it all himself. You want to have a co-star right next to him, and if it means getting Bellinger, then so be it. He has some championship experience with the Dodgers before, and it does help if you want to add said championship experience on the team. And having Max Fried as part of your rotation can help as well. And if it comes to the concept of moving Nestor Cortez and the Williams trade, that can help you as well.
And it's something that I've always critiqued the Yankees on, like ever since I've been watching them in the Aaron Judge era. They live and die by the home run.
Yeah.
Name me one hitter in the past half decade that could even be identified as a contact hitter. Because I can't.
You got a great point there, Ian. I'm not going to disagree with that. Again, you play in the bandbox ballpark and you want to set that up. Tigers tried to spearhead that before with Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder in a big park in Comerica. That didn't make much sense, but you're absolutely right with that. Alec, you're going to get set to take this away. That was a really good first, as mentioned. Again, the ESPN box has not updated the score, but I believe it should be 31-27. We'll see what we get.
Well, I think they're taking a longer time to review this. They still have it at 28-27. I think the officials are taking more extended time to review this play, but I think they have ruled it no baskets with just a slight finger touch on the ball, John.
That is a little bit surprising. I'm going to be honest with you. When we saw that, I thought that was pretty definitive and out of Caruso's hand, unless I see the 3 counted earlier on the ESPN box, which I don't.
Yeah, I felt that it was a little bit of a blown call from Josh Tibbins' crew. He's our crew chief tonight. I think it was a little blown call.
So we're looking at Isaiah Hartenstein's journey. It's Houston, Denver, Cleveland, Clippers, Knicks, and OKC. He's been everywhere, and I think he's found a home.
He has found a home here at OKC with the royal blue and the orange. We're underway here, second quarter. Alec, now with John Hodgkin, Gigi. It is the Bucks with the ball down by 1 after they waved off Alex Caruso, who's supposed to be free for the left wing side. There is Dave, left corner. Dave tie. You know what time it is.
My goodness, that jumper is smooth. I see Oscar Robertson and Ray Allen in the building.
Ray Allen was the greatest shooter of all time. Here is Jalen Williams. That mid-range shot rolled out. And, of course, it is Damian Lillard with the rebound. With Giannis on the bench, they have both Brook, Lopez, and Bobby Portis on the floor. Dave's going to force one from deep. Well, he did a good job of forcing free throws.
Oh, my goodness. All right, this is the Damian Lillard, Alec, that I've been waiting to see with the Milwaukee Bucks. Admittedly, I haven't watched as many of their games since the trade, but Dame Time getting a little bit older, but his extent and his range that he's built since he's been in Portland and moved over, he can shoot shots from the logo. We talk about Steph, but Dame does have that type of range.
Damian Lillard's first shot, missed that one. His hometown city won't have any more professional sports teams, but he is a professional sports guy at heart. 25.7 points per game this season as opposed to 24.3. He makes his second one, and his three-point shooting has improved from last year, 37% this year.
I think it's also, too, you get to a new team, they always say a little bit of adjustments, this and that. I think there is something to it.
And Dame, 34 years old, he makes two-thirds of it, making the final one is 32-28 for the Goodland Green and the Bucks. At the right wing, it is Isaiah Joe, the former Sixer. Moves in and out the paint, kicks it out, left corner, three on the way. Short, Hartenstein gets it back and lays it off the glass.
There he is. He knows exactly what his job description is, Alec.
From the paint, picks it up and scoops it home. Here is Dame, kicked out for AJ Green, right wing free. He's getting hot as a flamethrower.
And OKC's not covering these three-point shooters. They better get on it.
They have to, because you cannot let the best defense in the league fall apart and fell flat-footed. Joe will step back, make the free, go to Hartenstein. Hartenstein moves up onto the paint. Makes it, now delivers over to Mitchell. Gets himself wide open. Throws it in.
What a pass there from Hartenstein. Set that one up.
Wide open spacing. That is the key for OKC. Long pass. Pickpocketed. Jalen Williams read it. He'll go coast to coast.
Beautiful read there. He goes all the way, gets the easy layup.
Intended pass for Bobby Portis, who wanted to get an alley-oop from Dame. Here he is, back at the logo. Will deliver left side for Green, left corner. It is Bobby. He'll go inside. Portis double team, back for Green. Tic-tac-toe, Lopez at the right side. Trent moves up, will hook it, and that falls short. AJ Mitchell, and a bump here. It'll be a foul.
I know that was a missed layup there for Gary Trent off the floater, but you saw that from Milwaukee there. 7 passes before they shot the ball. Their offense is definitely in a flow state, I would say.
Yes, it is. 7 passes on the last possession. You want to have good ball execution. You got to be more creative with your passes and force this defense to second guess on several areas of the layers. Williams, who coached this one in, as he'll go left and drive, adjusts, bounces out. He thought he should have got a foul here and get some trips over to the line, but it's not. Trent, left corner, Green. Didn't miss out. That one by much. The Thunder back the other way. 4 defenders back for OKC. Taking this one himself, and it's bounced out. Foul is called against Dame.
Yeah, Dame's going to pick it up. I didn't see much. Got a hand check in there. Jay Mitchell going to go to the line to shoot 2. And Kendrick Williams will check in for Hartenstein.
Motorola, the jersey sponsor of the Bucks, loves travel shops. The jersey sponsor of the Bucks. Those OKC jerseys, some of the best. As Mitchell sinks the first one.
I will agree with you. I like the orange bright line again. Nothing that has to be too spectacular. Just keep it one similar solid color and make it look clean. Good work.
And good work, especially. And we've been seeing the Christmas Day games. Wembanyama, the Big Apple one there was highlighted. Mitchell is 2 for 2. But that's going to be a good one. Wembanyama at the Big Apple taking on the Knicks for his first. Portis will look for the right wing side. Delivered over to Green. Back inside for Portis. A hook shot. Rolled out. Oh, he got off that one. Harris Williams goes back across. He'll drive it himself. He'll have to kick it out. This one may have bounced off of Lopez. This bounced off of Williams before exiting out.
Yeah, he tried to get around Lopez. He went out of bounds, bounced it off his own foot.
Yeah, his own foot as he was driving through the right hash. I think it was a little too much momentum for him. Yeah, off his right knee. You mentioned it, John. Off his right knee before it went out. Here's Gary Trent Jr. He was teammates with Jason Tatum and Grayson Allen at Duke. Oh, here goes to Lopez, over to Lillard. Damian Lillard going over to Lopez again. He'll fire to the free throw line. Oh, it's in and out. Rebounded by OKC as they go back across. Onto the second unit, it's out there as Dillon into the right hash. Rimmed out, but a whistle.
This one, I believe there's going to be a loose ball foul that's called. I'm not sure if it's Lopez or Gary Trent Jr. picking it up, but this will stay with OKC.
Mike Breen thinks it was Lopez at first, but they're calling it on Gary Trent Jr. Well, it was too close to call, but I think this should be more on Lopez, if anything, instead of Trent.
It looked like there was a hold of the jersey on the camera shot that we just got.
Yeah, yet they're calling it on Gary Trent Jr. That wasn't a strange officiating decision. You're throwing him under the bus? Who, me? Left side, as OKC wants to deliver. AJ Mitchell is wide open. Didn't knock that one down, but OKC was able to keep on a long rebound. Jalen Williams to try it. No go there. 0 for 2 from 3 on that possession. Lillard. Somebody's got to score here. OKC is 1 of 9 from 3. And we have a foul against Milwaukee. Offensive foul on Bobby.
Yeah, you got the quarter right now, Alec, that we saw a little bit in some of these seconds where it's been defense. That's what we're getting now, some defense and some missed shots. Oklahoma City, I don't believe, has even knocked down a three-pointer yet in this game.
They've knocked down
9 attempts. Here they come. There's Mitchell. He'll want to look. Move on the side. Cason Wallace is a fire to pre, but a fire to pre-full line. Rolls around. Eureka. Finally, someone scored.
Break the seal there off the floater and had to rim around the cylinder a few times.
They're on 8-0 around the last 3 minutes. Over to the right side for Green. Now Lopez. Trent is wide open. He's closed up. Left corner free. Didn't answer back there, but Bobby gets it right back. Didn't lay one for a third effort. Tips it in.
Non-stop effort there from Bobby Portis. Took him 3 times, but he got the 2.
It is a charm indeed, John. Here's Wallace with a screen from Kenrich Williams. Run the left hash. Didn't lay that one through. And it's a loose ball. There'll be a whistle blown here for a foul. They'll go against A.J. Green.
I'd like to see this one again against A.J. Green, as looking at Bobby Portis battle inside against Williams, both of them at least. But that was a good effort there for Green. It's unfortunate he got the shooting foul. It's Portis 13 points almost off the bench, 5th in the NBA in scoring off the bench.
Just as Wallace missed the first free throw, so scoring is coming a premium more often than not. As Giannis, he'll check back in. We'll see who gets subbed out. That'll be Portis.
So he got his work in. He got a bunch of rebounds and a bunch of stat pad there. And Milwaukee's only down 1, and I think he's going to feel good about that. We'll see what he can do once we get later into this game.
And one guy they want to watch more of for Milwaukee's Andre Jackson Jr. as Wallace is 1 of 2. He splits the pair. Not because Jackson was coached by Dan Hurley, but because I want to see what he can do against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He may arguably be the Bucks X factor in this game. Giannis will look back to Dave. Just got that pass off past OKC some game defense. And for whatever reason, Dave just fires this from all the way back deep air balls.
You go shooting that right from the NBA Cup logo right in between that high sense, man. That was almost a 40-foot three-pointer that he airballed.
33 feet out. That's the distance officially. That was almost from the range at which he fired his series-winning three-pointer against, ironically, the team he's facing right now. Left wing free on the way for OKC. Too far. Lopez taps it for Giannis, who fakes the pass to Green. Giannis will look and will fire back for Lopez. His free on the way. In and out. And Luguentz Dort with a rebound. All the way back, it is Jalen Williams who's driving left. Mid-range shot. He shakes it with 6:30 to go.
That was a big one there for Jalen because they just showed it for OKC officially. 1 for 10 from behind the arc.
Yeah, mid-range shots may be where to go. Gray gets blocked. Ball is tipped up. Lands onto Wallace. So another crucial block for the Thunder. Going inside. That foul is called right before a putback from Luguentz Dort. So that putback is waved off from Luke.
As you talked about, I like those sequences. After you miss that, you get that leaner there for Williams, knocks that down, and immediately get the steal, go right to the rim, try to get the easy points. As we take the TO, Thunder's got a 41-37 lead with 6:15 left in the first half.
You know, it's now I'm not able to watch the broadcast like you said, gentlemen, but from what I'm seeing following ESPN, it seems to me that with how your defensive style is playing right now, like with how your defense is playing right now, if you're OKC and the Bucks aren't making shots because either you're blocking them or they're missing them, just take the easy twos. If they can't score and you keep getting the easy baskets, shoot.
Yeah,
There's a 10, 12, 14-point lead right there. Wait.
I agree with you, Ian. Again, there might be some times where both of these teams have missed some baskets, as Alec and I had called, but there's a spurt, maybe about 3 minutes or so in that second quarter, Alec, in which teams didn't pick up any points. You maybe steal a couple free throws, a couple twos there, and the lead could be bigger for either team.
It's just like what we watched between Houston and Golden State.
Yeah.
If the three's not sinking, just settle for the easy two. No need to risk 4 points being thrown out the window when you could just settle for the two. The mid-range shot, the layups, those are there for you.
So what OKC has done well, again, they've missed a couple of assignments from three. That is why the Bucks are shooting 7 of 16, 43%. The OKC Thunder are 1 of 10 from distance. What the Thunder have done well, you got 4 steals to Milwaukee's nothing, 4 blocks to 1 for Milwaukee there. So their defense has been good when they've gotten a chance to get a hand on it.
Yes, whenever they get the opportunity and making those key blocks like they did on the AJ Green three-pointer, get a hand onto the ball, find an open man and get to him quickly, close him up before he's able to get a shot off on time.
And one last thing to your point, Alec, that you just brought up, I wanted to mention this before I forget. As far as points in the paint, it is 26-8 in favor of the Thunder. So they have worked that when they've gotten the fast break, been able to get around Brook Lopez and get some lay-ins. But again, the points in the paint might also come from the Hartenstein floaters, in which he's hit 5 of them already. So a lot of that's going to come from Isaiah.
Well, to be fair, I would say about this NBA Christmas they had, the original it's forever a classic. The younger Steph Curry, James Harden on the Rockets, LeBron on the Heat. This one, I don't expect it to be like the classic one, but I think it's just as good.
I think you have to have that. You want to draw some inspiration of the things that we remember. And also, Alec, I'll say this. I'm not going to get into a big discussion about viewership and all that unless you wanted to do that at the half. But I do think at some point the NBA needs to start passing the torch to the next star.
I would believe so. And speaking of viewership, it is increasing over on the international audience, yet it's going down in the United States. And with the stars that are coming over from other countries, like European countries, France, Serbia, as the first free throw is short. When you have these other stars that are coming over from other countries, it feels like a message is being sent that, hey, NBA, it's not your country's game anymore. This game is going to be along with the international stars as the pairs split.
No, I agree with you on that side. I love the global aspect of it. Again, that's what we like to see in the NHL side, and I'm glad that we're seeing that more in the NBA now.
Yeah, this is being seen in Giannis from Greece, Nikola Jokic from Serbia. Giannis on one leg, pops it down.
He did his Dirk impression there from mid-range. I like it.
Mid-range indeed. That's the Dirk Nowitzki type shots that he showcased, especially in the championship run in 2011, and which he won Finals MVP. Hartenstein with Lopez on him, dropping it back for A.J. Mitchell, charging inside. His layup was contested. Lillard last touch on the rebound. He is down. It might have got off one the Thunder though.
Yeah, it did. So we'll go back here as Alex Caruso checking. Look at there for Giannis. Now that is picture perfect, as you said, Alec. Off 1 foot, you get the push there for Jalen. He just buys himself some space with that shoulder.
Taurean Prince be credited with the defensive rebound. Giannis going one-on-one. Still looking. With his back turned to Caruso. He goes inside. Spins, turns, sky hooks.
Too easy. Too easy. Not enough size there.
And when you put a smaller defender on him, you would expect quickness. Caruso kicks it out. Left corner, free on the way. Ripped out. Rebound tipped up. It goes to Prince. Now drop back over to Giannis. The Greek freak. Lead the way for Milwaukee, who are 7 of 15 from free. He'll force it on a deep 2. Short. Ball is bouncing all the way back to Milwaukee's end of the court. It'll be touched up. The Bucks will have to restart, so the shot clock is reset because it touched the rim. Lillard brings it back. 7 to shoot. Going one-on-one with Luguentz. At the right corner, Giannis. Left corner now. Taurean Prince. Arrowed out. Hartenstein rushes for his rebound. Good hustle. at the far side. That's where the Bucks are defending. Kicked out left corner. Good defense from Brook Lopez. Jackson is in on SGA. Gonna lay it up. Hartenstein gonna put it back. Now Luguentz. What is the sequence here? What chaos are we bringing?
There was a few rebounds there, but it looks like Andre Jackson's going to pick up the foul, Mr. Nava.
That's what it believes. That's what we're seeing on the ESPN box score. As he did get an elbow, did get a hand on Hartenstein's left elbow. That was sent him to the line.
That was almost close, but it was rolling off the cylinder for goaltending.
I mean, it also could have been an and one for Hartenstein as he knocks down the first one. That was so close.
Good contact and good battle for the ball between both of these teams. Again, for Milwaukee, I will say this. I know Giannis had to settle for a mid-range shot and missed it, but get that deep post position really quick if you're Giannis. Give Dame the ball right off of this and go back into the post and go to work.
I think we're getting some substitutions. I believe that'll be Cason and Wallace in the place of Dort. Connaughton replacing Damian Lillard. So those are one of the few times in which we've seen Connaughton. He has been getting less minutes in favor of AJ Green, who's improving on defense. There was a time in which Milwaukee would see Green getting picked defensively. Now he's improved in that category. Hartenstein's 2 for 2.
And he's had such a good game so far. He's already above his average at 13.5. He's got 14.
Hartenstein playing arguably his best game of the season. It will not be surprising if he finishes as the second best scorer, knowing what Gilgeous-Alexander is capable of. Brook Lopez! Oh, my!
That was set up from a one-handed pass from Giannis. Again, he's pretty much able to see up the defense. He doesn't need to jump or anything else. He's got Caruso on him off the back down and then set that one up. Again, that was the previous sequence. But what a pass there for Giannis.
They will not count the basket, but it's one of those great
ones
count, but this one will! Holy moly, Giannis!
If they didn't count it the first time, Giannis is just going to finish it off. They're going to count that too. 44-43.
12 free for the Greek Freak on 5 of 7 shooting. 2 games away from the most games all time with at least 20 points and 50% shooting. SGA misses, Giannis has the rebound. So what will he do towards the middle? Giannis charging down. Oh, he ran into one of the Thunder players.
They're going to say that this one's going to stay with Milwaukee. That charge is going to hurt.
Well, that's got to hurt for Isaiah Hartenstein, who took that contact pretty well. But Hartenstein, the reason he got that foul was because he was not in a legal position to draw a charge.
I know Giannis can do much more things than Shaq, but honestly, he reminds me of the modern day version of Shaq.
So for a combination of players, as Jackson rolled that one out. So ethical hoops could be coming right here. Not a lot of free pointers, but Hartenstein, he was crowded. Isaiah Joe fires from deep. And another missed free from OKC. What else is new? Here is Andre Jackson over to Prince. Now Giannis. Giannis sets up on the right wing side, defended one-on-one by Hartenstein. Caruso's also on him. No take a deep 2. Ribbed in and out. Caruso to rebound. The former Laker charging up front. Caruso, he runs into Giannis.
And Giannis tries to draw the charge, and he's not going to get it. I'm sure he won't be happy about that. Caruso is going to go to the line. I do think Giannis was in legal guarding position. He wasn't moving. He didn't get the call there.
Yeah, I think this was a little blown call by Josh Tibbins' crew. I think this should have been an offensive charge against Caruso.
I mean, it's hard to argue, Alec. Again, we'll say this admittedly, like LeBron James or Giannis, to say that Alex Caruso could send Giannis flying.
I mean, but if I'm Caruso, I'll take it. He nailed the first one. Last season with Chicago, he averaged 10.1 points per game, which is a career high. So he's breaking out offensively. He makes the pair, 46-43, and Caruso, one of those guys on the Lakers that was having such a bright future with, won a championship with them in 2020. Connaughton, back up at the Hisense logo, over to Lopez, who pumps up. Giannis lays this one off the alley.
I don't know how you can keep getting away with Alex Caruso against Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's just not fair for Caruso. You're putting a small guy up against a big guy. You put that, he's not big enough. Deep three, another miss for OKC. And soon enough, you got to start wondering, why are they shooting threes? They've missed 12 of them off the 13 they've taken.
Yeah.
Down to the right side, Connaughton is setting up for Jackson. Easy layup for the UConn product.
Milwaukee's got the lead now, 47-46.
Largest lead by either team has been by single digits. Not a comfortable position for it. Either side, SGA's about to take over soon and overshot that three-pointer. They are still shooting threes. For whatever reason, there are 2 of 5 left. They're 1 of 14 from deep, and that number is certainly going downwards until they hit one. Giannis loses footing. They're fighting for the ball. Whistle blows, and the benches are trying to wonder what is happening here. 156. Doc Rivers decides to use his timeout instead of settling for the jump ball.
So Doc Rivers gets the timeout. You're right about that. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the OKC and a couple coaches off the Bucks bench had to come out near the top of the key to make sure there wasn't anything else going on.
Make sure that there's no other physical play right around the free throw line because you don't want this to escalate further. But Doc Point is smart. Bucks have possession. They're right across the half-court line. They have possession of the ball, but Giannis holding on to it. It was about to be a jump ball. You call timeout.
So, Alec, I'm going to reset this here for you as we're underneath 2 minutes to go in the first half. Both teams now officially 17 of 40 shooting field goals at 42.5%. That doesn't seem all that bad, but here's the big key. 7 of 17 from beyond the arc for the Bucks, just 1 of 14 for OKC. If you're Mark Daigneault, do you say keep shooting some of the open ones that we get because this has to turn around, or are we going to try to make more of a 2-point commitment?
I think you have to make more of a 2-point commitment if I'm Mark Daigneault, because the threes aren't hitting. You have to go to the 2-pointers. Like between Golden State, Houston, or the Rockets, that game, the 3-pointer was not hitting. So the Rockets decided to settle for the 2-pointers, and it worked. OKC has to go with that same mindset. Settle for the 2. Don't go to the 3.
It's going to be interesting to see if they make that adjustment, because right now you can argue that is why the Bucks have a 1-point lead. It is tenuous. It's still been some decent defense there, but part of you can also play devil's advocate and say OKC can't possibly shoot any worse from 3, but we'll see what happens here in the final 2 minutes of the half.
They can.
If they can.
Don't bring that bat over here, John. Don't.
If they can, then my head is going to explode.
I mean, the arena may explode with the free because that's the modern day NBA where Steph Curry revolutionized. The modern NBA calls for 3 points of plenty, but I feel OKC has to go with an old school game. But don't bring that bad luck around here with that. It can't get any worse because sometimes it's gonna be a bad. It always can. Don't get it. Don't you put that evil on me here, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us. Oh, man.
I will say this, Alec. Your Pens got a big win against the LA Kings in OT.
There you go. Overtime as well. I thought that this would be a game that the Kings would take, but Ricard Raquel in overtime right after Matt Griswold got his first of the year in the third period to even it up at all deuces. That was a must-be win.
And the Blues are down 2-0 to the Devils because this team doesn't know who they want to be night after night. Night after night. It's win-lose, win-lose, win-lose. Why do you do this to me, Blues?
I have no comment as far as my team. I'll just press on.
Well, at least you're headed in a direction, John. It's not the
True.
direction you want, but you're not mediocre.
Well, we do have something coming out of this right afterwards. There was a little touch on Andre Jackson Jr., and in the midst of the jump ball, At the end, Josh Tippin is given a double tech to Jackson and Hartenstein in the midst of that scuffle. So that changes everything.
So that was in the mix of the commercial break that we just had in Battle for the Loose Ball.
Lopez, he'll back up less than 2 minutes to go. Giannis, he'll look back for Lopez. Easy tap in.
We just talked about that, gentlemen. You kind of wonder if OKC can start to replicate some of those easy twos that Milwaukee is getting.
14 points for Giannis with 4 assists and 5 rebounds. So that playmaking style may be there. That's a long three. Well, they're going to whistle that free off because of a foul forehand from Taurean Prince. But it would have been another miss anyway.
Yeah, so at least it doesn't say that it could get much worse as he just profiled, because it definitely would have. Taurean Prince takes the foul, and this will be an opportunity for Mr. Dort.
Luguentz getting ready to shoot two. The Montreal, Quebec native. Speaking of, as we have the first free throw, he makes it. Speaking of Montreal, it is the Canadiens, well, beating the Buffalo Sabres 6-1, handing the Sabres their 11th straight loss.
I think you mean to say dog walking, and as a matter of fact, here's another update. The Columbus Blue Jackets have clawed back from being down 4-0 to being down 1-4-3 against the Lightning.
Man.
As Dort makes the pair, but that is incredible for the Blue Jackets. They're that 2019 resiliency. Why 2019? I'm mentioning because that was the series in which they swept the Lightning. Giannis, a little Michael Jordan outstretched, just toying with Caruso. Lopez, oh, stop it. This is unbelievable.
The two big boys in the paint are doing damage right now in back-to-back possessions from Milwaukee. I like it.
Oh, almost a steal from Dame. And Caruso for Hartenstein. There's an open three to be had, but there's a deep two instead. They settled for it. They did it.
Jalen Williams able to take that pump fake, get him a little bit closer, and make that shot easier.
Yeah, this is from much closer indeed. As it is 51-50, Milwaukee kicked out, poked. Whistle blows. I think there's a foul.
Luguentz is going to pick this one up here. Hartenstein wants to travel. I don't think they're going to get it. We got 50 seconds left in the second. Milwaukee up 51-50.
There is something to be had. As Jalen Williams, he faked the free right on Taurean Prince. And had that free been taken, I would have believed that Prince would have blocked that free from being made.
Yeah.
So Williams steps up and then makes it from 17 feet out. A little easier for him. The Giannis fighting Andre Jackson Jr., who was right behind, and then gets the return feed back. Bucks are not in the bonus as the inbound from Dame goes to Prince. 15 minutes, 4 points for Luguentz. 3 fouls already for him, so he's already in foul trouble. Giannis one-on-one with Caruso. Right corner, it is Jackson, the UConn product. Short, and his rebound goes to OKC. Going coast to coast, now going near side. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Where will he make his move? Gets a screen on Hartenstein. SGA to the rack, kicked out. Right corner is Caruso. Did I make that one? Goes. Saved by OKC. Hartenstein picks it up. Back all the way out for Jalen. Jalen will look. Shot clock is turned off. Williams will move up front. SGA with free. Moving up front. Bounced up. Giannis grabs it down. Now the shot clock is turned off. Bucks with the last possession. 2 seconds. Whistles blow for travel with 2.5.
Giannis going to get busted for it, but man, oh man, SGA could not set up Alex Caruso for a better looking three, and he can't buy a bucket wide open.
Man, this is a very tough break for the Thunder, even for their free turnovers. It's missed shots left and right for them, especially from free. They can't even buy a three-pointer, even if it was for a penny. Here's the last sequence for the Thunder. Have to put something up with the buzzer, and this was short. Not like the first time around with Caruso, who arguably should have had that three-pointer. It's a 1-point game with the Bucks leading 51-50.
Again, I know Ian pointed this out, Alec, and I can just hit repeat one more time. The last time I'll say it. But, man, oh man, you couldn't possibly shoot any worse from three. Now, officially 1 for 17. They were at 7.5%. Now they're on a 6%. And they're only down 1. It still makes you think the Thunder can win this game. But I will say, Milwaukee and Brook Lopez and Giannis Antetokounmpo, when they've gotten into the paint, they've been able to do their damage over the last 2 or 3 minutes before we ended the first half. We'll see if that continues.
And you were monitoring the Florida UNC game. Well, Florida's just turned this upside down. They hold off the Tar Heels and win 90-84 in a Jumpman invitation.
Yep. I'm not sure there was any. Let me check and see if there were any upsets tonight. Does not look. Oh, wait a minute. Not a huge upset, but unranked South Carolina beating number 25 Clemson in OT.
91-88, the final score. South Carolina with an 11-8 run in the extra session to beat out as 27-point effort from Chase Hunter, led by 22 points of Colin Murray Boyles.
Although I do want to give a quick update. Hang on a second. We're coming to you live from the Hurricanes game. We are currently making the Islanders, and we are currently visiting the Islanders, and the rent is due you bums. We're up on you 4-0 with a little under 12 minutes left in the third. We might as well, whether it's Raleigh or Long Island, wherever we visit you, we make every place our home. Come and watch the rest of this game as we completely demolish what is left of Islander fans' homes. You're coming to our game.
You nailed that one perfect.
But seriously though, holy heck, the Islanders, man. I don't know if they're good or bad, but boy oh boy.
They're a very resounding meh.
Well, I can't actually. We can't even say meh. They're near the bottom. They're second to last in the Metropolitan Division. They're bad.
Well, that was the thing for me, and I know you gentlemen know this better than I do, but it's like you bring in Patrick Waugh, but what do you expect him to try to fix? Lou Lamoriello can't decide if he wants to rebuild because he keeps trying to, kick the tires around. At some point, that doesn't work anymore. And then you have Ilya Sorokin and Semyon Varlamov, who are probably too good to make the team be bad.
Indeed. You have Lou Lamoriello, who is in the middle of somewhere of the in-between. The Islanders just correctly putting themselves in the worst positions impossible. So it's not my fault of their team.
Are they even in a position to have a fire sale if Lamoriello wants to?
Honestly,
Lamoriello needs to retire. I've said this time and time again, but he needs to retire.
I agree with you, Alec, and honestly, Ian, to answer your question, I don't even think they know how to do that.
Well, speaking of the Blue Jackets making a one-goal game, well, the Lightning pretty much have sealed this one of an empty netter unless the impossible happens in the final 123. Braden Point with the ENG.
Yeah, this is what I'm watching live before we go back into our game. We won't miss any of the call, and we'll jump back into it. Just a little entertaining for ourselves here as we sit into the first intermission, the first half intermission. But Braden Point, my God, I mean, he's already got this many goals. And then when he had the game last week in between Calgary and Tampa, when that turned into a bloodbath at 8-2, pretty much everybody on Four Nations face-off for the top players are all from Tampa Bay. So you got Getzel, Point, everybody else across the board. Cirelli's going to be in there as well, but they just continue to score goals.
They're just stacking it up left and right, all around between Getzel, Point, Kucherov. Even with even with Stamkos gone, it's not a problem for them. I want to make a shout out to the University of Vermont as they have advanced to their first ever championship game in any of their professional sports they played and won 2-1 in the extra session against Marshall in NCAA Division I men's soccer for their first ever national championship title in their university's history.
That's a very cool shout out, Alec. I'm glad that you brought that to our attention.
Yep. 2-1 the final. And the call was accurate there. Don't call them Cinderella. You can call them national champions for the first time ever.
I like that.
Good on you, Vermont.
So, as I'm still going in and about, I know college sports is getting heated up here at the NCAA football side. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, Ian, but Bill Belichick is headed to the University of North Carolina, has been wanting to go to a UNC game next year. I don't know what if I'm deciding on going to a UNC's game either against Clemson, Duke, Stanford, or at NC State. But I think UNC just made their games more intriguing with Belichick as their head coach.
Well, here's what I can guarantee almost immediately. When you hire, if you're a college and you announce that you have hired, arguably, actually, I don't think it's arguably anymore. He's begrudgingly, he's the greatest NFL coach ever. I mean, come on, 6 Super Bowls, 20 plus years as a dynasty. I mean, come on, let's not sugarcoat it. You announced that you've hired that man as your head coach. I don't know how much you can. I mean, honestly, fellas, they may get more. They may get more recruiting application than they can put men on the roster.
Yeah. No, that's a very accurate assessment.
I mean, imagine, for instance, I don't know if this would ever happen, but imagine if Steve Kerr said, "I'm going to, you know what? Let's go ahead and make this interesting. Let's say Steve Kerr was hired by Oakland, John. What that would do for the university's basketball program."
Well, it's certainly, let me say this, because again, I love Greg Kampe more than anything, but he's been coaching at Oakland before I was alive. Again, I was born in 87. He just started coaching there in 79. He's been there for 42 years. So for them to kind of change something like that would be crazy. But that's almost like the same thing of you saying, Steve Kerr says, you know what? I was in Arizona. I'm going to go back and coach Arizona. That was shocking. But if Oakland made a move like that, I probably would fall out of my chair.
Yeah. A big shock.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and you're absolutely right about Bill Belichick. I was going to make one of the most inappropriate comments of all time, but I decided to refrain myself because you're all professional gentlemen.
Well, you don't actually make it, but go ahead and give us.
Well, okay. No, I can do it tastefully, correct? So we all know about college campuses and the ruckus and everything else you can bring, right? If you're a young college student, you enjoy the time of college, you enjoy the life. I was wondering if Bill Belichick was scouting the talent. He's got a young girlfriend. I mean.
Not gonna lie, Chapel Hill is a pretty nice college town.
Sure. So I think I said it tastefully, and we all got a laugh. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. No, we got it.
No, we're not gonna lie. Though, speaking of college towns,
yeah,
a playoff game in front of the Penn State wideout would go insane.
Yeah.
We're getting that on Saturday between Penn State and SMU at Beaver Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think of the expanded college football playoff? Do you like it, or do you think it didn't need it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah. I love it too, Ian. We could possibly, and I mean this with every word, possibly get a taste of the NCAA football's equivalent to what their version of March Madness could be like.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah.
And also, I mean, what this is, listen, its first year with a 12-team playoff, what will make this all worth it is if a team such as Penn State, or let's see who are at the top. Oh wait, here it is. If a team like, let's say, Penn State or Notre Dame or any of the higher seeded teams lose to their opponents, or no, if Clemson were to beat Texas, there will be outrage, there will be scorn, and there will be much laughter had. Please let this happen, and the 12-team playoff is slated and perfect.
And we live for those type of things and the memes and all the videos and all that stuff too. I agree with you. I think it's going to be fun. Yes.
For the chaos.
Yes.
There you go. It's much like when 2 years ago when Fairleigh Dickinson upset Purdue.
Oh, that was that was rough.
Yeah, but Purdue almost redeemed themselves going all the way to the national championship. They just so happened to be beaten by the better team in UConn.
Yeah.
Well, I do have Penn State as one of my sleeper teams for the NCAA 12-team playoffs, and they did convince me when they took Oregon down to the wire in the Big Ten championship game. It was the difference was 8 points, and it was a high-scoring match with Oregon winning. I have Oregon winning it all, but I think Penn State can make some serious noise and even go to the semifinals.
I don't know, man. Penn State is formidable this season, but okay, John. I don't know if you watch a lot of college football, Alec. I think you said you watch it off and on. But for those but even you guys must know the infamous reputation of James Franklin as the coach of Penn State.
It's been hit and miss, yes.
See, I just like Ryan Dates.
Yes.
Well, actually, yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, it's kind of the same. But I just, James Franklin will put together great seasons for Penn State. But in those seasons, and it may very well happen in these playoffs, you will have a moment such as losing to an unranked losing record Illinois team in 9 overtimes. You will have those moments where you give a mostly dead football program life and show in the most unbelievable way possible. That's why I am not sold until he does it. Until he makes all of us eat crow, I'm not convinced.
It'll be something to watch for. Alec, you are going to get set here for the third quarter. Again, they're profiling at 1 of 17 from distance for OKC, yet they're only down 1. It's 51-50, and we're going to get set here for the second half. Dare I say it, this will be the first game we actually get to hit the 100 mark.
Perhaps for both teams that we could see as such. Well, every game that we cover, John, has been a defensive masterclass for us two together. We're underway here, third quarter. Alec, MarJon, and Genji. So just one three-pointer for the Thunder in that first half of 17 tries. The fewest that they have made in this NBA Cup run. Left wing three. Yes, sir. That one hit from Sheboygan.
Good setup there up the pocket pass from Giannis right to Taurean Prince. He was right in the shooting lane.
Indeed he was. You find him available. Lost ball. It'll be Giannis as Jill Williams took one too many. Here's Dame. He'll get his turn. Dame time from Waukesha.
2 straight threes to open the third quarter. It's 57-50. It's the Bucks' largest lead.
7 points, which has also been the Thunder's largest lead. Give and go for Hartenstein. He'll adjust. He gets smacked. Thunder keep. Dort will kick it out. Another free. This one hits. Just a second free in the game for OKC.
Can't tell you how badly that was needed for the Thunder to answer.
And it was Jalen Williams who hit that one. Jackson inside for Giannis off the ricochet. Run the free throw line. Giannis pump fakes the pass. He goes down. Ball is loose. Foul is called.
Yeah, he's got to draw the foul there as Williams, is able to get that against Giannis. He just wanted to deny the fast break. Don't know if that's going to be a transition take foul or not, but when Hartenstein ran into Giannis didn't even have to move. He ran right into a brick wall.
More kids are personal, but yeah, Hartenstein ran right into a brick wall. Had nowhere to go. 14.6 boards, 7 assists. He does have free fouls, so watch for those fouls as the game progresses. Right wing, it is Hartenstein. Jalen Williams tries to cross over. Around for Joe. Isaiah Joe steps up. Will look towards Hartenstein for the free throw line. It's short. And another rebound for Giannis. That's the 7th. Our side is Damian Lillard. He'll speed his way down. Kicked out for Taurean Prince, right corner. Off the mark. And jumping up for the board is Luguentz Dort. He'll give it for Shai. SGA will take one. Will this be a third three-pointer? No, it bounces over the backboard off the rim. Giannis jumping his teeth into the third. He'll stop. Back turn towards Williams. He'll go inside, powering his way through. Gets this one to roll. Wow. Timeout, Mark Daigneault.
Not fair. You got the three-point makes and Giannis punishing at the rim. And this is the first time I'm going to get to say this, Alec. And again, I know there's plenty of time and the scoreline's not far away yet, but the Thunder are searching for answers.
That championship experience it is useful for Milwaukee and powering its way through their game. Yeah, OKC is young, but they're running into an experienced Bucks team that won a championship just 4 seasons ago.
Yeah, and they're able to get easier offense. They're able to get their threes open in this third quarter. Again, that was a couple times I talked about that. In the first half, just about 4 or 5 of these are just in rhythm, open shots. And then when you start to give those up, it starts to hammer you in bunches in today's NBA. And maybe that's what we'll see going forward. But we really need to see some shot making from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Again, I won't hammer the distance shooting or lack thereof for OKC, but they've got to find some way to manufacture offense a little more consistently.
They have to be on a more consistent basis, and still, as we keep going through, just 2 3-pointers in total for the Thunder on 19 tries.
Man.
That's just a 10% conversion rate at most 11% nearly if you round it up. But if I'm OKC, don't settle for the free. We talked about this. Go for the easy 2.
I think you would have to take, and this is kind of exaggerated, but for Mark Daigneault, you got 9:53 left in this third. I would almost take the entire quarter, Alec, and not shoot a single three, unless it's wide open in some sort of transition or corner that you have to take. You got to commit to get to the free throw line because at least, hey, for OKC, 13 of 16, 81%. That's way above their average from what we saw, especially against that Rockets game. So, that was much better for them once they can get to the paint and draw fouls. You got SGA, who is pretty much an 86% free throw shooter. He loves getting in the line. You got to find something easier.
You got to, would it be Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, hey, even Isaiah Hartenstein? You got to find the open man. Hartenstein had himself a good first quarter.
Yeah.
Why not go to him for some key rebounds and some putbacks?
Yeah, and it might be one of those things for me, at least for OKC, once they go to the bench and they take out Brook Lopez, you maybe sub in for Bobby Portis, who knows you're going to get some more time, mix in between Connaughton or whatever they want to do, that they can start getting the fast break stuff going again. But we'll see how that ends up working out as we're still in the commercial break.
Okay, I had to stop myself from laughing because both my parents are laughing about something funny. I don't know what it's about, but they're together.
It ends up happening sometimes. Laughter is contagious.
Yeah, it is. And this is the case right now. Well, I have to hold myself up to that. I apologize.
You're all right.
No, it's okay, man. It's actually, you know what this serves to do? This serves to make the broadcast more relatable and convinces everyone that we are in fact not robots.
Exactly. That's a good way of saying it, Ian.
Yeah, we're not. Good way to say it. We're back here. Hartenstein is a pickpocket on the pass. Giannis back the other way. Far side going one-on-one. Ball is batted. There is a whistle. We'll have to check it.
Right now, I see a Jalen Williams personal foul.
I feel that's what we're seeing. But Giannis and Dave have scored or assisted on 52 of Milwaukee's 59 points. That shows you all you need to know about how crucial the two of them are to this team. Even the absence of Khris Middleton, who accounted for 8 assists, despite not scoring a single point against Orlando, even without Middleton, Giannis and Dame can get the job done. As Middleton is working his way back from off-season ankle surgery. Prince, he'll look inside back for Giannis. One-on-one matchup with Jalen Williams. Giannis goes through, has the muscle, good poke, batted around. Giannis fighting for it. Luguentz trying to go after it. Bucks are calling for a jump ball. Still was utter chaos. And finally, after a lengthy sequence, we have a whistle. Not what the Thunder want. It is a Dort foul.
It looks like Giannis might have got poked in the left eye for what we're seeing right now. But you're exactly right, Alec. That was a lengthy battle for the ball. The pumpkin was knocked away from Giannis a couple times. Dort came in to steal it, and all of a sudden you had pretty much 6 players aside on the floor.
It feels like you're watching a net front battle in hockey.
Yeah.
You're and we're Matt scrambling with the goaltender trying to locate the puck, and you have all these 6 jamming right after it. And then when the whistle blows, it feels like you're getting a pushing and shoving right afterwards.
Yeah, it's a pretty good descriptor there. As Giannis, again, they're showing that side of the eye. Now, they're going to say Luguentz is going to get a technical foul on the ESPN box. That I'm not sure why, because I think when you get into the battle to try to get a basketball, there will be some heated words.
His Dame, he sinks to tech. I'm not sure why Luguentz got the technical foul against him. As Giannis, he'll get checked up by the medical staff at that sequence. I think he's given the all good signal to get right back into the game.
So, Alec, just really quickly, again, we talked about a little bit in the open as far as how much pressure would be on Dame and Giannis because of the lack of bench depth. But, I mean, you can talk about the Thunder not hitting any shots, but now the Bucks have an 8-point lead, and they've taken all this pressure, and right now they're almost on the cusp of taking this game completely away from the Thunder.
Well, what do you know? Another technical free throw, another hit by Dame. I'm not sure what that tech is for, but it's a team technical foul. I feel it is much of a disagreement.
So 2 technical fouls in one possession. I don't think that's something I've ever seen before.
Me neither. Oh my gosh, I'm just as confused as you are.
So I'll continue to look at this. Hopefully my stream will buffer. There we go. As we'll see if the Bucks can continue to add to this because they're going to get a chance to get the basketball again off the tip.
Dang tie!
Oh my goodness. A 5-point play for the Bucks. 2 technical free throws, a tip win for Brook Lopez, and Dame just says, you know what, I'm going to can this at the top of the key.
He's just taking it over all by himself. Would it be the text or the three-pointer right after the jump ball between Brook Lopez and Dort? Giannis going one-on-one around for Dame. He'll try it again. Didn't hit that one, but he has the hot hand right now. He's got the Bucks' last 5 points and the last 5 points of this game. 10 3-pointers made by the Bucks as the answer from Shai is on a mid-range shot for the free throw line. Cuts the lead to 9.
That's one of the better looks we've seen from Oklahoma City, maybe in the last 7 minutes.
He's got 12 already. How much more is he going to get? Giannis has been improving his MVP on us in this game. As his Dame over to Giannis. To Lopez. Little pickpocket and bounces back to Giannis. Giannis with 2. With 1. Has to get it off. And boy, the Thunder, they're calling for a travel. The whistle blows. Oh, that was a hefty sequence.
There's a lot of contact there on Giannis, and I would be very careful with a couple techs already against OKC. They don't try to talk too much to the Zebras here. But Giannis just too strong for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
That's a lot of contact for Giannis, and a foul is going to be delivered. Well, it is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the shooting foul. It's not a trouble. Giannis, who has not had the best reputation as a free throw shooter, as he is going to shoot 2 here on this sequence. So mark as a shooting foul. The first one, that was short.
So Giannis right now, 16, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and a steal as he's on triple-double watch.
In terms of the 12-team playoff, it starts off Friday between Indiana and Notre Dame. 2 in-state rivals going against each other. And then Saturday will be Penn State SMU, Ohio State Tennessee, Texas Clemson. Giannis splits the pair, and the lead is 10. OKC lead for the far side as they move this one up. Isaiah Joe moves through at the left side. Now backs up. That's actually Jalen Williams. Puts on the J. Hooks this one up. This one batted. Milwaukee keeps.
You're trying to go right at the rim, but Brook Lopez got an outstretched hand.
Little outstretched hand of Brook Lopez, as you mentioned. As Milwaukee, he'll have possession of this ball. 46% shooting for the Bucks on the game. As is Lillard. Lillard gets it over left corner. Jackson. That one bounced up. Stays out. And OKC will have a chance to match back the Bucks' energy. From the near side is SGA to the paint. Puts it through. 8-point game here with 7:26 in the quarter.
And he put his head down right there in front of Brook Lopez and laid it in. That's good work from SGA.
14 points on 6 of 16. Not the most efficient of nights, but he can take over at any given quarter. Giannis, he'll look around over to Prince. Back for Antetokounmpo. But he inside. Second effort. And the Bucks get back up to 10.
He ducked his head down right around Hartenstein to take a second effort, but he tipped it in.
And we have a whistle here. Foul on Taurean Prince. Past the 5-minute marker, and he's wondering what he's being called for. Doc Rivers also does not agree on that.
Yeah, Doc Rivers got something to say right in front of the officiating crew. Let me give a quick little look. It's Josh Tiven, Carl Lane, and Justin Van Dunn as the refs tonight.
SGA, Brook Lopez was going to play. He was pushed off. Made for Hartenstein. That was short. Lopez jumps up for the rebound. And he'll give it quickly to Giannis. The Athens Greece native. 2-time MVP. Finals MVP. Oh, he tried to pass it to Lopez that time. Didn't work as it bounced off the near rim. Wasn't trying to intentionally score, but sometimes passes that intentionally passes go for scores. Right wing free for Dort. Didn't hit, and yet another missed free for OKC. How many more frees are they going to miss? That's the 18th missed free from the Thunder on the night as a whistle blows.
This is not their game. This is not their game. This is not their game. Why are they deviating from their game?
2 for 20. That is not very good.
And Doc Rivers wants a TO.
Sounds like one of my tests in grad school. Okay, it was never that bad.
No.
Oh Lord.
But that's why I'm a journalism major. I don't have to do any math because I would be failing my tests. So deal with that. Thunder. We've been asking ourselves, where's the easy offense going to come from? And it's not there right now. I mean, I can give credit to Giannis. Obviously, Brook Lopez has got there a little bit, but if they even shot at a mediocre level from three, you would think the Thunder might be up by 10, not the Bucks. That's the way it is right now. Alec, I will say this, maybe Milwaukee goes and wins this NBA Cup. I still don't know, and this might be me being disingenuous, that the Bucks can win the whole thing or how they're going to look. They're playing well right now because Giannis is playing at an MVP candidate. You did say if Giannis outplays SGA, probably a good reason for them to win. That's happening right now. I think the Thunder might be shooting themselves in the foot with all these misses more so than anything else at the moment. That's just my opinion.
They're playing good defensively, but they're deviating from what their game plan is offensively. That the three-pointer is not there. Go to the two. And I've been saying this throughout this broadcast. I might sound like a broken record doing so, but keep settling for the two. Funnily enough, John, I just realized this. Darvin Ham, head coach or assistant coach, has never lost an NBA Cup game. He's 13-0.
So he is a member now of the Bucks?
Yes.
Okay, that is interesting to note. So, former NBA champion with the Detroit Pistons, Darvin Ham, now trying to go 2-0 in the NBA Cup.
I guess that's how you can put it. It's funny how things work out. Go ahead.
Good Lord, John. Darvin Ham was a player?
He was a player. He was on the 04 team with the Pistons when they won it, with Lindsey Hunter and all those guys off the bench. Yes.
Good Lord, I knew they were a ranked group, but wow.
Darvin, okay, so let me say this. Again, you don't have to go back and watch highlights because there's not a lot of Darvin Ham highlights, but he is one guy that can get up off the ground. That's what he was known for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, as a player. You know, that just shows how long LeBron has been playing. He played when Ham was a player and when Ham was a coach.
Yeah, the NBA bloodlines, they extend for a long time, especially as you mentioned when LeBron's played as many seasons as he had. OKC averages 35% from beyond the arc, which is good, but that's taking a dip right now. Alec, you take it away.
Final 6:15 of this third quarter. Alec MarJon and Genji. Left corner is Jackson from Dave. Rimmed out is short. Lopez tried to save it. It's still up for grabs. He does save it after several bounces. Prince, Taurean didn't roll through, but Giannis gets a second offensive rebound. Third time, Shai. Work ethics to the max.
Both of those bigs we talk about, they're just playing bully ball inside.
It's like we're witnessing the two tall teams around. Fadeaway for Shai. No. Offensive rebound for OKC. Left corner free. Shai hits it from Norman.
Second chance there for Shai, and he's got to get things going right now. As you said, he can take over at any time. He's a stick of dynamite. You got to light it.
Lillard gives it for Giannis. One potential clutch player to another potential clutch player. Jackson, Lopez, Lillard is close up. Over to Giannis. With 4, with 3. You have to go inside. Giannis gets it up on time. That one never hit the rim. And that's a shot clock violation.
That's about as good a defense as OKC can play. We're talking about, especially off the bench, they're very undersized. They forced Giannis into a floater they could usually make, but that's a turnover.
11th of the game for Milwaukee as opposed to OKC 6. Points out turnovers, 9-7 in favor of the Bucks. Inside, kicked out left corner. Kenrich Williams who decided to fire. Too far. Caruso contested with Giannis. And I appreciate the athleticism of Caruso and contested that. Shows the no fear in Caruso's size. On the left side, Lillard passes it over to Giannis, who had it off his hand before he received it. Got like Doris Hammer. And a foul is going to be called, I believe, against Caruso.
Yeah, Caruso, as you talk about, no chance to be able to match up with Lopez or Giannis off that push. Now you get some substitutions. Bobby Portis will come in for Brook, and A.J. Green's going to enter for Taurean Prince.
The fan favorite, Bobby Portis, back into the game as he takes over at the 5, even though he can be, was this both a 5 or a 4. But Caruso defending Giannis, That shows work ethics, dedication, but ideally want a big guarding a big. Portis or Dame. Screening Cason Wallace. Batted back over. Intercepted. Intended for Portis. Gilgeous-Alexander taking himself. Lays this one up. He'll draw the foul. That's what you don't want if you're Milwaukee.
Nope, Damian Lillard throws a bad pass. Couldn't get it all set up here. Shai's going to go to the line to shoot two. Get it closer. Oklahoma City within 9 at 69-60 with 4:35 left in the third.
He's averaging 30.3 points per game on 51% shooting. Just now, he has 17 points, making 18 as he sinks the first one. But a rather off night for the Toronto native.
Yeah, it's been an off night for the entire team, and yet, as it stands, Alec, you keep talking about it, OKC still hanging around. They just need one good quarter to kind of turn their fortunes.
Yes, Shai makes the pair. 9 of his 19 points that come in this quarter. He took over the third quarter last time. Nearly was intercepted by Caruso on the pass. Giannis secures it as Caruso could not secure it. Lillard over the left side. Green, extra pass. Here's Portis left corner. Bounced up and stayed out. Caruso grabs this rebound. Number 9 grabbing it away with number 9. Caruso in and out. Ball is bounced up. Ricochet onto Giannis, who's going in on Khris Williams. Giannis tried to lay it. This one was short. Milwaukee asking for a foul, and we will have a foul here at the end of this sequence.
It is kind of crazy, Alec, when you think about it. As soon as Giannis puts the pivot to kind of get that little hop, and then a little pro hop to get to the lane, it feels like he could do that 2 times, and he'd already be at the rim.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander he was trying to contest it, but Giannis with the strength got it away, and Doc Rivers was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, they don't want to try to, they're always going to try to give Giannis and the superstars the benefit of the doubt. He's pretty much impossible to try to officiate.
He's averaged 3 points per quarter in this game. That's because this is the second foul against SGA as he's taking sweet time with this free throw as he normally does. In and out.
And the players, or I should say the audience that's watching this, they're doing the famous countdown whenever Giannis is at the line to try to get in his head.
That was done when the Bucks made their run to the NBA Finals and winning it, whether it be in Brooklyn, Atlanta, or Phoenix, even Miami in shorter stints. But they're doing the countdown right on Giannis, trying to speed this one up. As in and out, I wondered if there was going to be a lane violation because one of the Thunder players jumped a little too early. Jalen Williams kicks it out over to Caruso at the top of the key. Now moves around to the right wing side. Khris Williams in and out. To Cason Wallace hooks it in. 5-point game here. Trailing this at the bird.
Giannis misses both free throws, and then Cason Wallace with the floater. It's a 7-0 run for OKC.
Pass 220 to ask for the case as Pat Connaughton's on the floor. One of their guys through the 2021 championship that run alongside Portis and Giannis. Jackson could not roll it in. Khris Williams on a loose ball. Thunder have it. 3:20 to go here in the quarter. Jackson watching. Gets a screen from Caruso. Shai in and out. Giannis the rebound. So from one MVP to another MVP. Well, we're talking about candidates, of course. Right corner, Green's close up, doesn't shoot it. All the way back for Giannis. Watched by Cason Wallace. Through the left, Giannis. To Portis. Back for Giannis on the outstretched pass. Does Giannis go to the inside? He does. He'll put it through and one.
No chance. You get close within 5 feet of the basket, Giannis is going to score it or at least draw the foul. You got too much post positioning. At least what I like from Milwaukee there, Alec. Might have lost the ball a couple times at the top of the key or near the right elbow, but Bobby Portis secures it. He throws right back into Giannis. They were committed to go to him in the last few possessions, no doubt about it, and they stuck with the plan of attack.
He beat the Greek freak. That was the game plan, and he is certainly cooking in the kitchen. Substitutions, Gary Trent Jr. replaces Andre Jackson Jr. Isaiah Hartenstein replacing not Alex Caruso, Jalen Williams. I was a little off on that. 18 points in the paint for Giannis. Chance to make it an 8-point game, and he does. So 72-64 is the lead for Milwaukee. Oklahoma City with their backs against the wall. And again, set to hand this back over to John at the end of the third quarter. Way back at the logo is SGA. Moving up front, he runs into Portis, loses him, mid-range shots to go. Hartenstein tries to keep it and does. Feed over across, off the glass, and stays out. Chaos here at the Bucks defensive end. Green over to Giannis. He'll walk his way through. Does he power inside? No, he'll feed it for Portis. Portis kicks out. Connaughton saves it. Green, right wing free. In and out. Over to Gilgeous-Alexander. Up front, SGA. Gilgeous-Alexander look back. Kenridge for three. Too far. Portis jumps for the rebound. Giannis with 2:06 in the quarter. 8-point lead here for the Bucks. They're 10-27 shooting. Thunder are just 3-23 from three. Pitiful number. Giannis around Hartenstein. Dish. Oh my goodness. There was a lot of contact and Hartenstein knew it.
Yeah, Hartenstein's going to get busted for it. Honestly, in a couple possessions before that, Alec, we saw SGA get away with a push-off. No foul there, but Giannis is really taking over this third quarter right now. They're putting the ball in the hands of their superstar, and they're featuring them. There is nothing to be have to try to change in the game plan. OKC just can't stop it.
Already he's got 14 points in the first half, 10 in the second half. Chance to expand this to 12 points in this third quarter. He's close to matching his point totals for the first half. As the countdown commences here, T-Mobile Arena, Giannis sinks the first one at the Fortress.
So Jai Mitchell going to come in for Kendrick for OKC. Dame Time will check in for Pat Connaughton.
Yeah, I mentioned the Fortress because this is the Vegas Golden Knights home, but this is a basketball venue today. It'll be a hockey venue any other day, except for the times in which the Aces, they have some of those crowded games, I would believe. 1:53 to go. Second shot. He makes both, and it's a double-digit lead, 74-64.
Giannis made the last 5 free throws as Alex Caruso is going to walk the ball here to preserve some time in the third.
26 points, 15 rebounds for Giannis. He's 60 left for the free throw line, but that's good for his standards. At the right side, Gilgeous-Alexander kicks it out. Caruso makes the free. Will go inside. Euros around. Swatted away by Giannis. Oh my, an MVP type performance.
And this is going to be off of Caruso. This will be Bucks basketball. Giannis now will check out Brook Lopez, but that is how you enter the third quarter in a flourish for him. My goodness.
That is a vicious block right off the chest of Caruso. Oh my goodness, did that ball ever go like a pinball out of bounds on the next sequence?
That one definitely had to hurt. Giannis, 26 points. He's already got double-digit rebounds. Got the block there. He got a steal. He's been all over the stat line tonight.
Right, here's Trent. Getting a screen from Lopez. 8 to shoot. Over to Green. Green continues to search. Lopez dropping it back for Lillard. This is the point where he headed against OKC. He rimmed down that one. That was from 34 feet out. Long shot. OKC drives in. Around for the paint. SCA kicks it out. Intercepted. It's Gary Trent Jr. The man from Duke. Left corner, Portis drives in. Right corner, Green. Makes the free and goes inside. Kicks out left wing for Trent. Yes, sir. Gary Trent Jr. from Kenosha.
That is good ball movement there for Milwaukee. Now they got an 8-0 run. That's been emphatic since the Giannis block.
In the last 3 minutes of counting, it's an 8-0 run for MKE. That is the airport code for General Mitchell Airport. That is the Milwaukee Airport. And it's pretty busy. 4 to shoot. Inside, Wallace. They have to get one off soon. They won't. As it was a bad pass intended for Hartenstein as he lost it. 25 seconds left in the quarter. 6-second difference. 9 turnovers for the Thunder. 12 for the Bucks. 77-64 lead. Dame is taking his time with this. This is over to Trent. Gary Trent Jr. looks back. Dame forced back deep by Wallace. This one out of bounds. 1.6 to shoot. 7.5 in the quarter.
Right off the leg, the big kick ball. This will stay with Milwaukee. Again, as Alec mentioned, about 1.5 seconds on the shot clock. That's all that's left.
They won't get a shot off here. Thunder have the last shot. They'll fire it from near the logo. Well too far. And that does not do any wonders third-quarter three-point numbers. As I hand it back to John, the Bucks running away with this 77-64. They outscored the Thunder 26-14 in this third frame.
So let me ask you, gentlemen, here, and Alec, you can start this off as you transition in the color here for this fourth. Is this just one of those games for OKC where it started so poorly from three that it kind of got discombobulated? Because Bucks, they've been making the threes. We talked about it at the beginning. Their percentages have been off the charts. This game still feels relatively close, though.
Still does, in a sense. And when you look back at such games in which it's a double-digit game, but you never know the unpredictability of what it comes when you're coached by a Doc Rivers. Doc does have an infamous reputation in the past about blowing in leads, series, or games in which it should have been achievable to win. And it's not over until the final buzzer sounds. Yeah, you're in it until the very end, which is why I'm not really ready to put this one on wraps.
I don't know. It just seems like what OKC should have done from the moment the second half started was go back to their strengths. 2 points in the defense, but instead they get three happy, which hasn't been working at all, and it just feels like they kept with this game trying to shooting three is like jamming the square peg into the round hole.
Yeah.
It's not going to work, but they keep doing it.
There's something to be said about that, Ian. And again, I look at OKC's record, again, whether it counts or not. It'll be 20-6 in the games that they play should they lose. Again, it'll be 7-0 for the Milwaukee Bucks. If they do finish this one off in the NBA Cup, they'll improve to 15-11. Again, that also talks about the very poor start that they had to begin the year. Whether or not that is part of what the Milwaukee Bucks still are in the narrative, we'll find that out. I still think that their bench depth will be tested. I do think that they need to add to it. I do like the fact that Milwaukee has been able to lean on Giannis. What else is new there? And then use Dame as the offset. But, I mean, Giannis took over that third quarter. They need an SGA takeover on the other side.
They do, especially because he's at worse standards and off night. It is Giannis' game right now with 25 points, or 26 rather, with 16 rebounds, 8 assists. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, on the other hand, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. The main difference here, Giannis, 10 of 18 shooting, and he's nearing a triple-double. So if he can keep this up with his strength and athleticism, plus the defense he provides, perhaps we could be seeing the peak Giannis that we've been seeing. Maybe we could reopen a conversation. Who was the best player in the NBA?
It's hard to believe, gentlemen. I had to click on the ESPN box that Giannis is in his 11th season. And he's already 30 years old.
It's amazing. That's a development curve that can take you. His true breakout didn't happen until 2017, but there was promise there when he was drafted in the first round. It just but this is where you build around him.
I still remember, because there was a time, John, I think you remember this, there was another Bucks player who was on the rise by the name of Jabari Parker.
Yep.
Who looked absolutely out of this world. And it was going to be the next dynamic duo, Jabari Parker and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then, then he gets injured. I think he tore his ACL or ruptured his Achilles. He was never the same, and Giannis had to take over.
That's the way that it goes sometimes. Jabari just could not stay healthy. Didn't have a long NBA career. So this last three-pointer mix between a Jalen Williams 2 makes it 80-66. And we'll see how much sand is left in the hourglass. Bobby Portis with an air ball. And this will now send this one across to Cason Wallace, who'll go right to left for the rest of this second half. Wallace now will shoot off the screen. It was an open mid, but Portis has the rebound. We'll see if this is going to be Dame time the rest of the way until Giannis checks in. Giannis is on almost a 25 rebound watch, and he might get there depending on how many more minutes he plays, but he's certainly on a 20-20 watch. Dame splits the pair, tries to drop it right to Brook Lopez at the cup, and this one will get deflected, stay with the Bucks.
Under their backs against the wall. That was not a good third quarter for them. But in this fourth quarter, this is where they need to have their big guys take over. That means Gilgeous-Alexander. If you want to have your defense play lock and key, you have it at the moment.
And AJ Green set up Dame for a wide open three. It was a gang rebound there for the Thunder. Here's a three-point attempt again at the top of the key. This one was open, but Oklahoma City can't knock it down. Mark Daigneault, I don't know how much hair he's got left, but he's got to be pulling it out here as it's 10-10 left to go in the fourth. Lillard off the spin near the right elbow. Inside is Portis. He gets doubled. It goes back to Brook. He'll shoot a three. This one goes in. Brook Lopez with the artillery. 83-66. It's the Bucks' largest lead, and Daigneault says, let's talk about it.
That was way out, 29 feet to be exact. Almost Damian Lillard range, and Brook Lopez laid it like it's nobody else's business.
Man.
And Mark Daigneault has every right to call a timeout here. Nothing's been going right for the Thunder in this second half. Not even three-point shooting, which has been the Achilles heel, but mid-range shots as well. I mean, they're effectively getting shut down by this Bucks defense that you are just looking at this under a microscope and saying, what is going on with them?
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. I know it's one game, and the Thunder's record's been astronomical. So, again, one game, and I put that in a vacuum in that, but they just haven't looked good. And some of these shots have been open, but again, we talked about a little bit in the open in the sense of the Bucks shooting well over 40%. Some of these guys are over 50%. Hands of Taurean Prince, I guess they're living right. My only concern is it gets a little bit later in the year, let's say March, that I want to watch, Alec, admittedly, if these scorching hot three-point numbers continue, because I just don't know if it's sustainable.
I wonder, because if you're this hot running here for the Bucks, you want to have this on a basis in which you can continue on and keep with this production. And the NBA Cup, you're playing out of your minds, especially if your offensive defense numbers rose to 7th, 5th in rating, and you have the second best net efficiency in NBA Cup games. The Thunder, this has been one of those games, but I feel like they just ran into a team that's more experienced. But this felt like a very disappointing for the standards, given this as the best defense in the league.
Alec, let me say this, and again, I'll profile it. So Connaughton, Wright, Beauchamp, Livingston, Tyler Smith, AJ Johnson. Oh, Khris Middleton's not playing. You got Gary Trent Jr., Bobby Portis, AJ Green. There's still got to be some sort of ad, though, for the Bucks before the deadline, right? Just to get a little more bench scoring.
Yeah, you believe, because this bench scoring has been you're relying on. If you're going towards your bench, then you are relying basically on three guys: Bobby Portis, Gary Trent, and AJ Green.
Right.
I think those are your three guys in which you're relying a lot on. If you're going to take out someone that you're using right now on this bench lineup and get someone in favor of someone to move out someone, I think MarJon Beauchamp could be your best move in subbing in the place of Pat Connaughton off this bench. That's what I believe.
I agree with you there, and I think that's well said. I'm also looking at the starting lineup. Again, you got Giannis and Dame, so you're covered there. Brook Lopez is your center, but it's still Andre Jackson and Taurean Prince. It kind of makes me wonder if they will maybe move one of them to the bench, considering how well Taurean Prince shoots threes. I don't know. Maybe they can even figure out another starting piece. But I agree with you wholeheartedly in as addressing the bench depth as much as they can. Because if the Bucks can play like this in an NBA Cup game and shoot so well from distance, they do have a chance to make some damage. But I'll have to continue to monitor it myself. I don't quite believe it yet, but we'll watch. As Cason Wallace, this is a leaner. This is too short off the front of the rim, and Brook Lopez gets the rebound. And this will start here for the Milwaukee Bucks. Go left to right. It's a 14-2 run since 3:46 of the third quarter. And it's been the Bucks game. AJ bounce pass. Brook Lopez. Another three from the right corner.
17-2 run since 3:46 left in the third quarter. The Bucks are just steamrolling hot right now, wherever.
Isaiah Joe will answer, but Brook Lopez, I mean, I remember the time, gentlemen, in between New Jersey Nets and before the Brooklyn Nets, in the sense of he could not shoot a three-pointer to save his life. That is a big add to his game, and he's really been shooting almost distance shots, not even just corner shots. Gary Trent Jr. off the step back. My goodness, Milwaukee, they're on fire.
It really can do no wrong here. Whoever has been throughout the rest of the game, where they're shooting inside, outside, even three-pointers from Brook Lopez, who has added that to his game since he came to Milwaukee.
There's a long three for Joe. That was a settle there, no doubt about it. 88-69. At least I think Alec made the right decision of switching to be academic for me here in this last one, but I wanted to make sure that we could both evenly split a couple times. But I am shocked that it's been this kind of a rubber stamp effort. We got a foul on the floor. One of the Thunder's down. Bobby Portis got an elbow.
Yeah, clear elbow and a clear offensive foul. Whenever you elbow one of the defenders, that is almost certainly going to be an offensive foul. Body positioning is important. You have to make sure that you set the right screens and make sure that you don't elbow someone, intentional or not. You have to be sure that nothing doing. I get Portis is trying to receive the pass, but you can't elbow the defender out of the way.
Looked like that was it Cason Wallace or Isaiah Joe? I didn't see the number.
I think it might be Isaiah Joe from the looks. It is.
Thank you for that. Again, they're going to look to make sure anything is malicious as far as a flagrant. So we'll have a little bit of a talking point as we get things settled. Probably a good idea to go back into the box score here. So Dame, 20 points on 5 of 11. Brook has 13, 3 of 5 from distance. Giannis Antetokounmpo has managed to attempt a 3 for 2 straight games. He's got 10 of 18 shooting, 26 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and a block. We're still trying to get our official word.
So Ezekiel, a longer review here for now is offensive foul against him. Could be getting a call soon enough, but they're still reviewing it for potential malicious intent from Portis. I think it might be incidental contact from him.
I could see that off of a swing, and if they want to go crazy, Alec, I could see as much as a flagrant 1, but definitely not a 2.
I think at the max it's flagrant 1, but I don't think there is malicious intent.
I agree.
Just keep it as a personal.
I think that's what we're gonna get to. Mike Breen and Richard Jefferson are getting the call on the ABC side. That's kind of where they're laying on us, and I promise my TV isn't loud as we're still looking to make sure to get the official word. I'll get that relayed to you in a moment. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 19. He's a minus 17 on the floor alongside with Hartenstein. He's got 14. Jalen Williams with 16. Let's see this update on the official. So call overturned for the Bucks. And there's going to be looks like the Thunder are going to go to the free throw line.
They believe that personal is going to stand. They're not going to get it a flagrant. I think the fact that it's not a flagrant 1, I think is the right call because there's nothing too egregious about it. Nothing to suggest that he should get a flagrant 1 against him because it's just an incidental bump. I get in hockey it'll be a 2-minute minor, but nonetheless, just free throws for OKC. All right. Where is it?
Alec, I'm looking at the ESPN box. I think they're saying flagrant 1. That was my initial call. I thought that was the high point. I think Isaiah Joe's going to get 2 free throws, and they're going to get the ball back, OKC.
As he sinks the first one, he's about to shoot the second one. I am shocked that they gave it a flagrant 1 for Bobby Portis. He makes the second one. I don't mean to step up over your
fine.
On this one. I'm shocked that the refs gave Bobby Portis a flagrant 1 because I thought there was no malicious intent from it. It's just an incidental elbow to the head.
Yeah, I think the swing back was a little bit unfortunate. I will completely agree with you there. It wasn't like a meta world peace to Serge Ibaka, if you remember that one quite well. I mean, that was intense. As it's SGA now the right side. So OKC's got a chance for a 4 or 5 point play. Isaiah Joe wide open for 3. I mean, impossibly wide open, and he can't make it count. Those are the ones I don't mind them shooting, but the contested ones, it's too many. 4 of 28 for OKC. I mean, this is a hideous performance from three-point. I have to say it that way. Brook Lopez is going to get an illegal screen.
Why is he pushing? Why was he pushing?
I don't know.
Players? And from right behind, when everything is already set up, he's pushing him. That's a clear offensive turnover.
So Shai 2 of 8 from distance. The rest of the team is 2 for 20. So you could say it's not their night on some, and I would agree with that. But I mean, you got to get some better looks too. But inside the paint between Giannis and Brook, except for the Hartenstein floaters in the first, it's been silent. Hartenstein now finally makes one as soon as I mentioned his name, 88-73.
So there's one of your guys that you need to get going. I say Hartenstein, he has 16 points and 9 rebounds, a rebound away from a double-double.
Yeah, and a lot of that damage has been the majority of the first quarter, so they need much more. Giannis now has it at the right wing side of the key. Gary Trent Jr. off the step back down to 3. Here's a forced shot. Good defense for SGA and a good box out for Hartenstein. So this will be SGA off the spin, Williams. And now Hartenstein, Caruso, top of the key. Swing around for SGA, left corner. He can't buy a bucket. Another missed 3. Again, I'm sorry for the repeated narrative, but OKC, that's all they've given us on repeat. As Giannis near the right side elbow. He'll spin. Dort's in his grill. He's going to back up. This goes to the top of the key now. With 6:45 thereabouts left in the fourth. Shot clock to 5. Green. Here's a pass now. Connaughton. Rainbow is too strong, and Hartenstein gets the rebound. SGA right to left. OKC needs baskets in a hurry. They can't really slow this up too much more. SGA foul before the shot, and they're just going to call a foul against SGA. I think he gets a push-off.
He has a little push-off that Brook Lopez was looking for earlier, and that is the offensive foul as he did push off AJ Green. Well, if it serves OKC any better, I say our Hartenstein gets his double-double, but it's not really helping them that much.
Yeah, Alec, I'm not really sure what to say. Again, Alec, it's been a rough night for OKC, and they've missed some chances. The Bucks have shot well from 3, which they said in the open that they'll do, but it almost feels like a missed opportunity, but yet the Oklahoma City are so good, you don't really worry about the long-term ramifications. SGA misses again. Loose ball foul on the floor. This one goes against Gary Trent.
I wonder what was the whole commotion. I thought this was not going to be a loose ball foul on Gary Trent Jr., but he did shove Luguentz right into Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's what caused the loose ball foul against Trent. Already is 3 fouls, but that's not really much of a factor. He's all good.
That was a little bit of a domino there off the push. We'll do it again. SGA. Now an opportunity off the pocket pass. Hartenstein, another floater. That has been the offense you saw in the first, and that's all the offense you see here in the fourth. I am not accustomed to seeing OKC being absolutely shut down when they get into the paint, but that's starting to happen now. And they've not made any threes either. 5:50 left in this fourth. John Under with you alongside Alec Nava. Ian probably thought he had enough as this goes around now for Gary Trent Jr. Step back now for Lillard. Hits a wide open 3.
As easy as it can get by. 26 feet out, and Gary Trent Jr. set him up perfectly at the right wing side.
SGA tough all the way against Brook Lopez, and that's a 7'4" hand that stretched out. Still makes it 91-75. Damian Lillard could really slow this up now. That's all Milwaukee needs to do right now is just bleed this shot clock and win the NBA Cup. As Lillard gets it down to 5 seconds on the shot clock, still trying to get it going. Finds Giannis, but it bounces out of bounds, and I believe this will be a timeout here for Mark Daigneault, and we'll figure out the rest when we come back.
And I think he needed that because the Thunder, they're down big, 16 points in the final 5 minutes. A comeback here might be a leap of faith for them, but that's all you really need to do if you're OKC. Take a leap of faith. Go on the all offensive. If you still, I know you're taking the wide open free looks, but you need to find a point where if you're settling for the 2, you got to take what's available to you.
Yeah, and again, if they were going to make that adjustment, Alec, they would have had to have done so right at the start of the second half, and they just never did. And It's kind of disappointing because when you look at the Thunder and their free throw numbers, 17 of 20, they were excellent. I mean, it seems like they've gotten to the line a lot when you have 20 free throws, and yet they settled for too many threes. 27 of 76 shooting for 35%. You're never going to beat anybody doing that. And the Milwaukee Bucks so far 32 of 74 for 43.
You speak of elite defensive performances. Usually we expect this from the Thunder, but I'll give my marks to Doc Rivers and the Bucks for forcing the Thunder to shoot 35.5% of their shots and 13.8% from three. No looks. There wasn't a look available to them at all for OKC. And whenever they fired open shots, sadly they were not hitting, which is a bummer because you would expect that those wide open three pointers were to be hits. That's the evolution of the game of basketball that is now built for free and D type of play. That's today's NBA. As for Milwaukee, they're doing that to the best that they possibly can. Guess what's open to them, and when they get wide open looks, they bank in on them.
Yeah, they've made those threes, and it's been a talking point going into it, and they're right around their average anyway, about 41% for a team percentage. But what I did like, a little bit of a turning point in that third when OKC continued to chuck, it was Giannis and Brook Lopez in the mix between some lobs. They were getting consistent twos, getting into the line, drawing fouls. The Bucks were able to essentially run their offense like a well-oiled machine. Twos, frees, free throws, easy looks, putbacks, rebounds. They were just the better team today.
They were in all facets. You can check mark all of the boxes for Milwaukee. They were on their game offensively, and they were on their game defensively. This is the Milwaukee Bucks that we need to see throughout.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned this going in. Again, I won't repeat it too much about what I really believe the Bucks are, because again, now this will be 11 of the last 13 games in which they have won. We'll count that officially; those it would be 15 and 11. Again, the Bucks had such a horrific start. You kind of wonder, are they that team, or are they this team that's blazing hot, or are they somewhere in the middle? That'll be something for us to find. But I think the one consistent talking point, Alec, and you know this better than anybody, when Giannis plays like this, that's how the Milwaukee Bucks can go on a ridiculous run. And you know what? Fourth in the East, they might find themselves, if they continue to push north here, they could get a top 2 seed if they keep playing like this.
You can say that.
So Caruso, another missed 3. And again, I'm going to be horrified when I have to look at it. I'm just going to say this now. I know I'm in the act of play-by-play, but it's 4 of 30. If I gave Alec Nava an open gym to shoot at the top of the key, I think he could shoot better than 4 of 30.
You miss 1% of the shots you don't take. AJ Green took that note.
So we'll look at this right now. AJ Green knocks it down as a floater. This one missed. Hartenstein bounced off his hands. And Milwaukee is threatening to enter the century mark. They got 94 points as Green hit it over the outstretched hand to Hartenstein. The Bucks have been on fire from distance.
It's been very rare to see Isaiah Hartenstein get picked apart left and right, especially since he's one of their better defenders.
Yeah.
7'0", elite rim protector. It's just not his game defensively today.
No, it's not. This Oklahoma City team has looked very average, so I guess you have to give a whole sort of credit there. Hartenstein blows the body. Then he gets blocked by Giannis.
If you thought it was batting up defensively for Hartenstein, just imagine him to get denied once by the rim on an alley-oop layup, and then a layup gets blocked by Giannis right on. He was waiting there like a shark.
Giannis is 2 rebounds away from 20. Bounce pass, Brook Lopez. Can't hit the 3. This one knocked out of the hands of SGA. And that effort is going to keep this ball back to Milwaukee. But another look at the Giannis block. Man, when you're that tall, you don't even have to jump. He sends it packing.
He can jump up high, up to the highest that he can be.
Giannis, right elbow. Shot clock to 5, trying to back up on Luguentz. Dort. Another feed. Gary Trent contested top of the key. No. And this is Luguentz. Dort. We'll see if Giannis can get 2 more rebounds. He would be at 20. Opportunity. Jalen Williams knocks it down, but it's academic. 94-77. We got just over 3 minutes left to go in the fourth. Jalen shot 20 times. He's got 18 points. This is a setback for Gary Trent Jr. as the Bucks continue to bleed time away as they should. Got it at the NBA Cup logo does Dame. Gets a screen from Brook. Finally getting going now. Pass deflected. Brook doesn't even go for the basketball. They'll probably just accept the shot clock violation.
Well, they just need to run out the rest of this clock. They're all good. And as you speak of 2020 games, we had one last year of Anthony Davis with 41-20
Yes.
with 4 blocks.
That was one of the most epic Anthony Davis games I could ever remember.
Yeah, it was. It's a Shaq-like performance.
So Antetokounmpo tries to lob this from out of bounds across the sideline. That will be a TO. Brook Lopez looked about as interested as I was at picking up the basketball, as it's a 94-77 game. We might get full cell changes here, but not before Mark Daigneault takes a timeout. I think they're going to get dinner reservations, and the full bench is going to come in.
That's what I think. If you want to just go back, rethink this one over, go over what you missed out, and get ready for the long season that is ahead. In Milwaukee, they're pulling out all their starters. I think they've already got this in the bag. They have already secured the NBA Cup, so no need to play your starters. Get your reserves in and have the rest of this game played out.
Yeah, this was a beatdown all the way across the board. Again, plus, instead of plus minus, all the way across 1, 2, 3, 4 players off the bench in a host of 9. Again, you still got Khris, Livingston, Tyler Smith, Delon Wright, Ryan Rollins, and AJ Johnson. I think they're all probably going to come into the game. And OKC's used everybody. Again, it'll be Dylan Jones, Braden Carlson will check in. And we'll just finish this out. There might not be much play-by-play for me, but there will be some thoughts. The noon game, as Alec mentioned, in between the Spurs and the Knicks, that should be a good one. You get to see Victor Wembanyama on Christmas Day. And then maybe the Suns Nuggets would be a good appetizer at the end of the night.
You also have Mavericks and Timberwolves in a Western Conference Finals rematch as well. That's a good one.
Again, you told me a little bit last night. I know we're in the active play-by-play, but did you get a chance to watch a lot of that game between the Panthers and the Oilers?
Well, I will say that I'm upset that game was not scheduled for national television.
Yes.
Because, one, it is a Stanley Cup final rematch, and two, it is a prime time. You want to have this game scheduled on a prime time slot. The fact that this wasn't on national television, I'm wondering, what are you doing, Gary Bettman? A lot of Panthers fans that are not in the Miami area missed out on their team winning. Oh my goodness, what a block.
Oh man, Giannis with an absolute send away. Again, that game was only on NHL Network if you weren't in the Sunshine State. This will be a 3 right in transition for Milwaukee as they're 3 points away from a hundo. Gary Trent Jr.'s got 13 on 3 of 6 from distance. Mitchell, 1 more, but a foul will be called before the shot.
I think the Thunder, they're waving the white flag. And Giannis, I know he wants his assist for the triple-double, but yeah, he finally has his triple-double, but I feel like there's a time to sub out your starters. It's right now.
Yeah, maybe he's sitting on the triple-double, as you mentioned, Alec, but he's 1 rebound away from 20.
Well, and Doc Rivers, he wants to sub out his guys, which includes Giannis. That's his second straight year in NBA Cup final, which we saw a potential 2015 performance. Last year, Anthony Davis with 41 points, 20 rebounds, 4 blocks, 5 assists. This year, it's Giannis, a triple-double, 26 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks.
Yeah, he did it all. And This really goes and shows you just the type of player Giannis is. Again, Alec mentioned it, Ian's mentioned it as well. Not just an MVP candidate, but an MVP frontrunner when you're playing games like this. I mean, as good as Jokic is, and no disrespect to him because he plays center like a point guard, and that's also fun to watch. The athleticism is unrivaled. I mean, that's like LeBron in his prime.
Oh yeah. If we're trying to reopen the debate of who's the best player in the NBA, I get the whole hype about Jokic and how he is doing the yeoman's work for Denver. But if you unlock the playmaking form of Giannis, that is the true. I think this season may be the true final form of Giannis, and I think Giannis is giving Jokic a run for his money on best player in the NBA. And I think for this alone, I am giving the edge to Giannis now.
I think that's well said. Again, between Jokic and Giannis, like probably two of the most beloved international players that we have in the NBA. I can't say there's a single fan that doesn't like their game or has anything negative to say about them, which is a good thing, as this one is missed off the side of the rim. You got 55 seconds left to go on the fourth. Kendrick Williams. This was a good pass across, but it's missed again by OKC, and this will add to the totals. Now we have to see if Milwaukee's going to break the century mark, 43% to 33%. You don't say that often. 4 of 31 from distance. That is your game in a nutshell. As here's the screen. You got an opportunity right at the rim. This one's partially blocked. And a couple more plays before Milwaukee can essentially sit on the ball. Here's still an effort to try to grab this near the right elbow. It's Kendrick Williams, top of the key. Try to turn on the sauce. A long three. This one goes in. That was extremely contested. But that is going to end it. 97-81. All Milwaukee has to do is get across the timeline. They're going to win the NBA Cup. They went 7-0 in this tournament, and Giannis was a man on a mission.
Darvin Ham, his 14th straight win, head coach or assistant coach in NBA Cup play. The Milwaukee Bucks, your NBA Cup champions in the second edition of this in-season tournament, and they'll get $500,000+ to each and every player.
Nice. So before we depart from this broadcast, I've been meaning to ask John a question about your team, John, the Detroit Pistons.
Sure.
To put it frankly, where are they at right now? Because currently they're the 10th seed. By their record, one would say they don't look very good, and yet they're 11-6, 27 games in. From a Detroit, from a Michigan native, and a Detroit Pistons fan, what do you make of your squad?
I think, again, I'll give you the short form because I don't want to bore anybody, but I think that they're much better than their record indicates because Cade Cunningham is starting to come into his own. And again, that is no surprise in between when you add guys, maybe not Tim Hardaway Jr., but when you have Malik Beasley and Tobias Harris and you bring them back, I know it's a second stint. It's more than adequate players to come off the bench to be able to run offense in. You actually have a competent coach in J.B. Bickerstaff. I understand as much as I would like to be Monty Williams sitting home eating Cheetos and making $100 million, that would be great. But they just didn't have any coaching last year. So I think this team is an improvement. And honestly, if I'm going to be just completely real with you, I think they're in a better state right now than the Red Wings are as far as this season.
That's where I like the improvement from the Pistons compared between this year and last year. You have a sense of structure and stability this time, right? Taking down the Heat twice could speak to such an importance around. I see you're staying in it with other competitive teams, and I like that from Detroit.
Yeah, I think they're on the rise.
So, what are your hopes, John? Because obviously there's still some work to do would be acceptable? Are we talking maybe? Are we talking like winning a game in the play, like making the play in and winning a game, or are we like what would be an acceptable season?
What I want to see, again, in the future, I'll just say it for the season, I'll give you your answer. Cade Cunningham continue to improve, make sure he gets signed for the Pistons long term. I don't need this in 2 more years where he goes somewhere else. You got to have your established star or budding star. What's acceptable for me is when you got guys like Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren continue to improve and work on their game. I want the young players continuing to get better alongside Ron Holland and seeing that improvement, because before, when Tom Gores had his hands on it and the rest of the staff member, John Beeline was there, the former Michigan coach with the Wolverines, there was no development for the Pistons for the last 6, 7, 8 years under Stan Van Gundy. They never got better, and there was no improvement no matter who they drafted. So if you get those improvement from the young players, you get Cade signed, you don't even need to make the playoffs, because I think when you go into the next year at least, they will get there.
You're expecting to play it.
I think they can, but I don't even need to see it, Alec. I just want to see improvement for the young players and getting guys signed in the future.
Let's say all right. So, however this season goes, sign Cade Cunningham, developing the players. Where do the Pistons sit to make moves next offseason to really help give some insulation to the young guys?
That's a good question. I think some of the stuff for Hardaway and Malik Beasley and all that were stopgaps. So I don't think that they have any sort of pressure as far as salary cap restraints. I think that they could probably do that as soon as next season. I don't think they're going to do much this season, to be honest with you, making moves. But I think in the offseason, after this is done, I think they might open up the pocketbooks even more. Tom Gores, I'll tell you this really quick before I go. He is one of the worst hands-on owners that there is, and thank God he's not doing that anymore. He's leaving it to JB and the rest of the guys, but his pocketbook is unlimited. So if they want to make the Pistons a big market team, you got to be able to win some games in the forefront, but I don't think they'll be afraid to spend money.
Sweet. So, let's see. So they have enough money to lock up their core.
Yes.
From their staff.
That's what I think is going to happen. But again, the one thing, and you guys will all know this, when you have stars and you get used to losing after a while, sometimes it settles in. Cade can decide whatever the hell he wants to do, unfortunately. I would love to see him stay with the Pistons and have somebody established, because the last time, gentlemen, this tells you how old I am, the last time the Pistons had any kind of hope like that, they were in the Teal days with Jerry Stackhouse and Grant Hill. Grant Hill unfortunately got injured. We traded for Ben Wallace from the Orlando Magic, and Stackhouse went elsewhere. But Cade holds his own keys. I hope he decides to stick around.
Right. Well, I think that Ben Wallace trade worked out for you.
It did, but again, it gave me a little bit of tear to my eye when you lost Grant Hill, because back in the 1995 days, who shared co-rookie of the year? This makes you feel old. Head coach Jason Kidd and analyst Grant Hill.
Yeah, I do feel old when thinking back to that. Because Jason Kidd was playing with the then New Jersey Nets.
Yeah.
And Adam Silver delivering a speech at the end of the NBA Cup. Nonetheless, it does make us feel old about Jason Kidd back then playing his heyday with the Nets, and you also have Ben Wallace and over the Pistons. Now Kidd's a head coach, and Grant Hill now an NBA analyst over at Turner Sports.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I'll stick here with the trophy presentation, then I'll bounce out. The other thing too is I'm still not used to seeing Chauncey Billups as the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers.
I'm still not used to seeing it. I know Portland is trying to build on a young foundation. It's going to give some time, but I'm still intrigued what it would be looking like with Chauncey Billups at the helm. They did get Donovan Quinn in the draft, which I'm inclined to see how he performs in Portland. They got themselves a rim protector.
He really was. We were able to watch him a little bit in the tournament, Alec, and I agree with you. He was a good rim protector and a piece to get.
Yes, indeed. Now, the Scoot Henderson project hasn't worked out in his first year. His second year, not really so much as they hoist that trophy sky high.
Good for Giannis. Again, I know it doesn't feel like an NBA championship as Thanasis looks around, but hey, they worked for it. It was a rough start to begin this season. To have it culminate in the way that it did, and now for this NBA Cup, and then to kind of work forward in throughout the season. Bucks looked really good in this one. I'll have my reservations a little bit, as I mentioned, but if they can continue to play this way defensively, hit threes, and have Giannis lead, that's when you know that they're dangerous.
Yeah, you think it'd be at a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference if they keep this up?
Yeah.
I will put them around that area.
That's where I'm going to go as well. Another NBA Cup, the second edition from Las Vegas. This was fun. Alec, I'm going to pencil this in again next year, if you don't mind. I know we're going to jump back into the hockey season as it goes across. I'm going to be busy with a couple of games this weekend with the Sharks, but I will catch up with you very soon, my friend. What do you got coming up next?
So this coming Thursday, a matchup in which I never thought I would do on the football side. The two surprising teams, the Denver Broncos and the LA Chargers. Saturday I was in a bit of a debate about myself internally about this, but I feel like I got to catch a college football playoff game. And what better than the Penn State whiteout? Penn State hosting SMU. A playoff game over at State College, Pennsylvania. That's going to be electric.
Look forward to that. Alec always does a great job on the calls. Ian always joins in that and brings a lot of good perspective as well. You gentlemen have fun. I'm going to have a busy weekend. I will talk to you next week, and have a good Christmas and all that stuff as well.
If I don't see you anytime soon, John, Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. You guys take care. It's been wonderful as always. We'll talk soon.
Talk to you guys soon.
I think he's already got the trophy, but 2 NBA League MVPs, 1 Finals MVP. I got it. And now the Emirates NBA Cup MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You and this group came into this NBA Cup with a renewed focus. How refreshing is it to play these meaningful basketball games in December?
It's great. It's great for our team. We're getting better. The last 50 games we've played, we've competed, we've played team basketball. We trust one another. We trust one another's abilities. So we're playing good basketball. You know, these 2 games, no matter win or lose, we know we're going to leave Vegas. We're going to be a better team. I'm so proud of this group. Man, I'm so proud of this group. You know, coming out of in the halftime, you know, we had 24 minutes to go. We came out in the third quarter. We set the tone. We played great team basketball. We moved the ball. Guys were making shots, but most importantly, we were competing defensively. The team scored only 14 points. That's who we are. That's who we are. That's who we're going to continue to be. And the job's not done. We have a lot of basketball in front of us. We have a lot of things that we got to improve. We are going to improve, and we're going to stay like this because the job is not done.
Giannis, you're the first to say that this is an entire team effort, but this is the biggest game that you and the man holding the trophy, Damian Lillard, have played together. What have you found that he brings on the biggest stages?
Man, this guy is one of the best players I've ever played with. Top 75. His resume speaks for itself. You know, coming to the game, we both did not feel 100%, but we grind. We knew that we had to do our job. We knew that our team needed us.